Start recording. All right. I'm so excited.
Me too.
I've got like the best group of women. You all are the best group of women. And this is going to be really fun. I want you guys to have fun. I want this to be like, a session of, yes, planning and mapping things out and super productive, but I want this to just be fun. Like, this is something that doesn't happen a lot, like actually like mapping and planning things out together like a small group like this. So I want you guys to enjoy this. I want you guys to ask all the questions, like get every single thing that you want out of this. I'm here to give you everything, okay? So how are you guys all feeling to start off? You don't have to have yourself muted if you like, you don't have to. This is very like interactive. And I know Erica just stepped out. I know Erica's having some vibes issues, but I want to bring the vibes back for Erica. Sam, are you camping right now? I think you're camping.
Yes. Yep. Yes, I'm camping.
But you're dedicated. You're like, I'm on the call. I'm here. So because of your situation, do you want us to go through your stuff first? Would that make
if you could.
sense? So then if you have to pop off, then you can?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do that. I know, so you have a brand new offer that you created since I've known you. And this is to help, so it's not just selling your products in network marketing anymore, it's to help other network marketers basically build their businesses, correct?
Yep.
Do you want to fill the ladies in your background, and then fill us in with this offer? And I want to know before we get started too, is like, I really want collaborative like feedback on everyone's offers, like from outside perspective, like what would you think of this if you were to do this? Because it's just going to help you all out create better offers. And so it's not just my perspective, it's everyone's, which is going to be super beneficial. So Sam, go ahead and just kind of spill your ideas and your thoughts.
All right. So I do network marketing. So I sell like hair care and skincare products. So I know a lot of people like struggle with network marketing. So I want to like help people out that are in network marketing. Mm-hmm. So I was looking at doing a 4-week program. And then the first week I would help them figure out who their ideal client is. Like, who do they serve? Like, where does their ideal client hang out? Like Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, what Facebook groups they're in, and just other ways to like help them find their ideal client. And then the second week, I would like teach them how to recruit people to join their network marketing business. And then week 3, I would help them increase sales in their network marketing business. And like that would go around creating content that converts. And then week 4, teach them how to brand themselves.
Okay. So would it make sense to, from my perspective, would it make sense to do how to recruit at like the last thing? Like to me, and let me know what you think, is number 1 would be what you have, like figuring out who your ideal client is, who you're talking to. Then would be more like branding after that. So it's like who you're talking to, get clear on that. Then I think finding your own personal brand would come second, because, and correct me if I'm wrong, or if you have a different perspective, is I would want that person to make their own sales first before they start recruiting. And to do that comes with the messaging and the your own branding, and then make sales in your business. And then last would be like recruiting, like that's like the highest level. But like for it to flow, I think it should be ideal client, branding, increase sales in your business, and then recruiting. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. So I think that's a good flow. I think 4 weeks is good. I like the price. Are there any other things coming up for you in terms of like what to add, or do you want me to like spill other perspectives and ideas?
Spill other perspectives and ideas. I'm open.
Okay. Like I work mostly with coaches, right? So people who sell coaching, right? But when it comes to selling products, like this is going to be helpful for you, but also helpful as you coach people with this is it's less about like, here's this, buy it. Here's my lipstick, buy it. It's more like if I could sell this pink lipstick because I wear it all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't need to be like, here's the lipstick. You know, I just need to be like, I look good today. Do you like my lip color?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's no matter what it is, like mugs, like I've got a bunch of like pink nail polish. Like I'm just thinking for me, but for anything, it's less about here's the product and it's more of like you showing how you use the product.
Okay.
That's a brand and that's going to connect with people, right? Less than and I know that you know this, but I know that network marketing like coaches or on the team kind of teach like here's the stock photos, share those photos, here's this kind of thing, and it's less about learning how to build a personal brand. So I would in your branding, really in the branding section, really talk about how it's more about you showing how you use the product, just showing it and less about showing the product, showing how you use it and less about showing the product. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And does anyone on have feedback, or does anyone on know people who sell in the network marketing space, and maybe do you see people and you enjoy the way they sell versus the way maybe other people sell? So, and I can kind of go ahead and answer that from my perspective. I see people on my, and I can stop the screen share because we don't need it right now. I see a lot of people who do network marketing just put up the stock photos. They're like, here's the sale this week, and it's just like the stock photo of the products, and it looks super cheesy, like it was pulled out of a magazine. And I'm like, I don't relate to that. But what I would relate to is when, like, a woman say they're wearing clothing, for example. It's like, these are my favorite leggings. I'm wearing these leggings. There's a sale this weekend. Like, it's more relatable when I see it on the person or how someone uses it, as opposed to just like the stock photos that the company just gives them. I don't feel a connection with that. So I like to see people use it in their life, and then I'm more likely to buy it.
Yeah, like I don't like stock photo either, so I try to make it more relatable.
Right.
May I say something?
Yeah.
There is a lady, a good friend of mine, who sells Origami Owl, which is a jewelry line, which I love. She does a fantastic job, especially on her customer Facebook page, of doing videos and taking her own photography where she does her makeup and everything, but styling it with her clothing to show that even though it's a specific kind of jewelry, it goes with the overall look. And Sam, if you'd like her name, just so you can be part of her group and kind of see her vibe, I'm happy to share that with you.
Yeah, if you want to message me.
Super relatable. People just adore her.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's awesome. And it's like, it's less about the product and it's more of like, oh, who's this woman and her style? And then there's like, oh, here's the jewelry, here's the accessories, right? Which makes it look way more appealing, And I think of anything, I'm thinking even of stuff like gym equipment. Like if I see someone using a certain brand or a certain whatever, and I'm like, oh, they use that. And it's not necessarily like them like use this product, but I see them using it, and I like them as a person, I'm going to buy that product because they use it. So it's really, really, really about creating your own brand, your own persona beyond the product, which is going to work. Which a lot of people are nodding of like, yeah. Like there's a way to do it, and a way that's just kind of like, like can work sometimes, but doesn't really work. I know some of you might know Kendra Johnson, or the name. So she does like, is it Zaya, the clothing, Zaya? Yeah. She does a great job, in my opinion, from what I see, because I see a lot of like her wearing it, her in the style, her talking not just about the clothing, but talking about body image. You know what I mean? I know
Her boyfriend, she always like shows him too,
yes.
because there's like, but he doesn't ever like really model it, but he's like there, and she's like, oh, he's wearing Isaiah, you know, so.
Yeah. So it's super like chill and fun, and it's their own way. And then there's someone else that I know, I don't need to say the name, who's like sharing just the photo, like just the photo with like the 50% off this week or whatever. And I'm like, like meh. It's like, it's like a magazine, right? Or like out of a magazine, which I'd rather see someone like live it and embody it. So the same goes for your own stuff, and what you can teach the girls is like, embody it, show that you use it, show you wearing it, show how you do it, show how you style your hair, show like all these things like that. And like, I don't know if you've done it yet, I know you talked about it, Sam, is to like do tutorials of you doing your freaking hair.
All right. Yeah, I've done a few, but not too many.
She's like a little resistant on it, but like,
yeah.
I know that maybe might be out of your comfort zone, but I would, if I saw you doing a tutorial of doing your hair, I would click on the video and watch it. And I might even buy the product even if I don't need it. I'm just saying, you know, and that's it. And if you're going to teach the girls to do that, you've got to do it in your own way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it might feel a little uncomfortable, but like, just do it. Just do it. And the thing too is with network marketing, like I think a lot of women join network marketing because it can be like, oh, it's easy. All I have to do is sell this and make money. But the thing is, if you don't get behind the product, you're not going to make money. If you don't like show that you use the product, it's going to be really hard for you to sell it. You know, so a lot of people just think, oh, it's easy, I'll make money, and I just have to share that I sell it, and it's harder than it is, right? Because you really have got to show that you embody it and you use it. And I'm saying this because I once had a company reach out to me and said, and I totally am someone who would have done it, but I just couldn't get behind it. It was a straightener. They're like, could you do a live video and show this straightener? And like they even sent it to me, and I never did the video. I'm an awful person. But like that would be fun for people to watch. Mm-hmm. You know, like here's how I do my hair. Also, if you like this straightener and looking for a new one, the link is below. Like that's a chill way to sell, and it's a good way to sell. Is this helping?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions coming up for the specific offer itself?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Actually, I did have a thought. Okay, from cold messaging to sales is what you want to call it. I'm wondering if we can name it something that doesn't use cold messaging in it. Something else to sales, like from cricket or from being ghosted to sales. Maybe not that, but like I wouldn't say cold messaging in the title. Something else to sales. We don't necessarily need to figure it out like in this moment. If anyone has ideas, let us know. But I wouldn't use from cold message, like the term cold messaging, like from crickets to sales, from I'm trying to think of what else, like, because I know what you're trying to say.
Silence to sales?
Silence, yes.
From kind of get that alliteration thing going on with the first letter words.
Yeah, yes, from silence to sales. I like that. Because what's happening when you're cold messaging is you're getting nothing back. No one's responding, right? So from silence to sales, I do like that. And
I like that too.
Speedometer. Like have like a speedometer of like nothing to like sales and money flowing.
Yes, I like that. A little logo. Yeah, that's a really cool idea.
We're going back to crickets to connection. I don't like that one as well, but it's another idea of just.
I like using sales from silence to sales. I really like that.
From zero.
If you like that, Sam. Were you gonna say something, Cabra?
Oh, I said from zero to sales or something.
From zero to sales, yeah.
Like I picked up on her, I don't know your first name, who picked up the speedometer idea, so.
I'm getting an iced coffee delivery at the moment. The bigger one. Thank you.
Mine's in my fridge waiting for me when I want it.
We got it delivered.
Coffee here.
And it was supposed to be delivered right at 12 noon, and it's 18 minutes late, but it's okay. Anyways.
No tip for them, huh?
Well, yeah, you tip before you get it. Give the tip on the app, so they already got it, but it's all good. Okay, yeah, so I would play around with a different name. And do you have an idea of when you are looking to start launching this and start selling it? Or maybe it worked backwards. When do you want to start running it and then giving yourself time to start selling it?
So I was thinking like maybe like start promoting at June 1st and then do 2 weeks and then do the program. Yeah.
And you've been in confidence to cash like every time. You know a general like guideline of like the phases of selling. Do you feel like selling for 2 weeks is a good fit for you to sell a program?
Yeah, I feel like anything longer would be too much.
And do you have a lot of, I'm guessing you do, a lot of women in your network who are network marketers?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're most likely looking for something like this.
Yeah, like I've even had people reach out to me like before, like when the idea came about. I was like, oh yeah, I'm working on a program.
That's amazing. So you've already got people. So what I would do then, honestly, if there are people messaging you about if you have a program, I would message them back and say, I like, there's one coming. This is when it's starting. If you want to sign up, and even give them like a early bird price or something. Since you know what I mean. Okay, that's a good idea. I would definitely do that. Yay! This is exciting. Okay. Do you have any other questions about your specific offer and or selling right now? No, I don't think so. Not right now. Okay. Well then that's cool. That's easy. I had a feeling yours was going to be easy peasy because it was just one very easy, straightforward, to the point, boom. So stay on if you can stay on, but I know I don't know where you are, in the middle of nowhere right now or somewhere. Yeah, I'll stay on until okay, good. Kids good. Okay. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I don't care.
Okay.
Either one. I'm good. I'm here. So.
I only saw I only saw Christy's hand go up, so she's the one who's going next. Okay. So you listed out. Okay. So do you want to go ahead and explain what you got going on, and then any questions that are popping up that you want clarity on from these amazing programs? And I know you already clarified a lot just from being in like the main part of Offer Incubator, which is great.
Right. I almost just cut and pasted it. I added a couple little things, but so Journey, we started in October and we've ran a form of Journey twice. The first time we feel like we had like more success with it. The second time was right in the midst of the beginning of COVID and all of that. So I think that had some pieces with it from our end and from their end as well. And then as taking the Offer Incubator, we kind of have kind of like condensed it in a sense. I think that the way that we were delivering it was like everything all in one. And so we kind of have condensed it, and that's where Journey 1.0 and 2.0 have kind of been born. So, so I've never ran Journey 1.0 like this, and I have some like different ideas that that again, kind of scaling it down for people who are wanting to just change their habits, live a healthier life, probably lose weight, and this is where they would start, and kind of try and like you said before, to like move from kind of asking what the end result was and then how I started. And that is kind of the steps that where this was born. And then the Journey 2.0 is going a little bit deeper with that. And then I've never ran one-on-one anything, but it's in the back of my mind that we could run one-on-one intensives like this, or do focused macro counting and offer that, but we haven't. I haven't done that, but it's just out there. And then I really have been called for a long time. Not a long time, but probably like since November, December, I had this idea to do sort of an online retreat, in a fact where with Food Drives the Mood, we kind of function on 4 pillars, like food for your plate, food for your mind and soul, and food for your body. So to kind of break that down in a weekend retreat sort of fashion, where we had like a Friday welcome party, and then Saturday do a live workout, maybe do a cooking class. And I'm not sure where I want to do that, like a live, or just have it recorded where they could connect with it, do a motivational speech, something on goal setting. I had an idea for, like a craft to do that, that you would do if you went to a camp or a retreat of some sort, and all of that kind of tying in. And then Sunday doing a hike or a walk in your area, and then posting those pictures. Like if I could do a live retreat, then we would all go on a hike or be outdoors and do something along those lines. So that's kind of my idea for the online retreat. I had the plan to do it like end of May-ish, June-ish, before any of this COVID happened, just because weather starts to be nicer in most places. I'm now shooting towards like mid-July, just because I am a teacher and things are getting over in a couple of weeks. And then I am doing a little like online summer program for some students at the very end of June. So I'm hoping to maybe do that in July, and that kind of thing. And then I added this autoimmune disease thing. My son is a senior, he'll be a senior in at WSU for nutrition, and he will be graduating this year. He was diagnosed with celiac disease his sophomore year in college, and it kind of changed the trajectory of his life and what he wanted to do in life, period. So now he's in nutrition. He wants to be a nutritionist or a dietitian, and his focus, he really wants to help autoimmune patients and that kind of thing. So that's kind of like his goal. So he's been battling with, does he go on and get his master's degree, or does he just stop where he's at? And I'm like, there's lots of stuff online. Like, you just need to be done at the end of your senior year and just move forward and kick ass online. And so we had like a really long talk about it. And I was like telling him all of the Stephanie things, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna take my senior year and like slowly build out my program. So we just taught, or like build out his online presence and whatever. And then as I was driving home, I went hiking with him on Mother's Day. As I was driving home, I'm like, oh my God, like we could totally do a program together. How great that this would be. As like, he wasn't in my home when he was diagnosed, but I had to learn a lot about his diagnosis as having celiac, and how that affects like what we serve and what we eat and those kind of things. And so I called him and I was like, Gunnar, we can do like a program together from like a mom-son sort of point of view on all of these things, like what our story was, how we learned stuff, what you wish that I would have known, or his dad and I are divorced, and we come from it from a different point of view, and like what he wishes parents would know, how we could help those kids that are diagnosed that are still living at home. He was diagnosed when he was in college, living by himself, or with roommates, and so how that all changed. And then that could kind of go into, he could offer something more profound and nutrition focused for those that need it. But I thought that would be like a cool 2 to 3 day little program that could help right here. And so that I added as well. So
I love that. I love that idea. I love it. Okay. So this is really good. So you had Journey and you split Journey into two to make it fit, like there's two levels here. It's too much to do once. You split it into two. So Journey 1 is more of like basic, like get you set up, get the foundations, healthy lifestyle, all these things. And then Journey 2 is more on, it's less basic, so it's more like hand measurements, like proteins, fats, blah, 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 all those things. Okay. So this is what I'm, because now my brain, okay. This is how I'll be all day. I'm like, okay.
I'm listening to you.
Oh,
I'm gonna turn off the heater.
oh, she's gone. She's
Okay,
gone.
good.
She left.
I'm here. I'm here.
So I guess my first question is, do you have questions about Journey 1 or Journey 2 of the specific offers?
Offer wise, I think like I feel fine. Like I like what I have planned, I guess. I can kind of see it. I really think that the mindfulness and the like changing your mindset is super important, and therefore I want to like put in those positive affirmations. I think that that's important. I'm not really sure how to implement it. So that's something that I'm I know it's important. I want to do it. I don't know exactly how to move forward with it in that way. Do you do it weekly? Do I do it every day? Do I say it? You know, like what kind of things would be best in that situation?
Yeah. So to speak on that, so I think because, and ladies in here can agree or disagree, like if you've ever done any kind of like it's fitness or nutrition program, I think you're taught, okay, here's what to do every day, or here's what you got to do every day. But there should be some kind of piece of accountability to keep you motivated to follow through. And I know Lainey like is in the health and industry as well. If any ladies have taken programs, do you have feedback of like, what was there a piece of mindset or accountability missing that you think would have helped you maybe stay on track? And I think it might be something that's less like, here's the affirmations you need to say or do every day, but more of like accountability check-ins. Because I think what people are going to struggle with the most is the lifestyle change and staying committed. So they're going to need something that's like, okay, yes, I know I need to do XYZ thing every day, but what's going to keep me motivated? Is it a check-in every day? Can you create some kind of like calendar for people? Is there like even just a check-in feed in the group you could do? You could get really creative and have like every time you check in, your name gets put in a draw, and at the end, you know, if you get X amount of check-ins, you win a whatever. Like, you know, things to motivate people, so then it creates the habit, and then the habit is what's going to create the results they want in their health and their fitness. Is this making sense? Mm-hmm. So it's less like coming on and giving a mindset talk. To me, it's more of like integrating it in, so it's like they don't really realize that it's happening, but it's happening. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. That's what I would do, because these people, especially for Journey 1, are people who have trouble with commitment, have trouble staying consistent. So to add another thing in would feel like, oh, this is too much. It's already a big thing for them to change their habits. So the big thing is going to be, I've got to change my habit. And then we don't want to add like, and you've got to watch this training, and you've got to say these affirmations. Maybe it's like, do a daily check-in or a weekly check-in or whatever. And really what I would do at the beginning of the program is really reinforce that, like, to see a change, like you're all here for a change. You want to lose weight or whatever it is. You want to eat better. You want to feel better. For this to happen, you've got to be committed. And so the hardest part is commitment. So during this time, let's keep each other accountable. Let's stay committed during this program. And these are maybe different ways to do it. And I'm going to keep going, because this is something that I've seen, because I run programs a lot, is everyone shows up in programs differently. So you might have someone who's super committed to doing what you're saying in the kitchen, but they're not someone who's super on social media all the time, right? But they might be following the thing. So you could say, if you're someone who like really loves to check in every day, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a feed and you write your check-in every day that you just did it, right? Or you could say, if you're someone who, you know, you're not on the computer every day, you're not on the phone every day, but you're following the things, I would love it if you checked in like once a week. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing, just because there are people who just don't want to be online every day to check in, and that's okay. But you can maybe give options for a couple different ways for people to still be accountable. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone have input, or has anyone ever taken a program that worked, that they liked, or maybe it was missing, and what was something you wish that they had in terms of commitment mindset?
I can say something. I did a program once and I loved it that they checked in on me, you know, literally asked me like, what did you eat the day before? And it wasn't like to make me feel bad, but just to have me focused on that I am making the right choices, like where could I make better choices. The one thing I wish that they did have was, after the program ended, kind of like a maintenance program or something, because I wound up falling off the wagon shortly after, and it would have been great to know I still had that person. Apparently I did have their support, I just didn't know it, they didn't tell me.
Oh.
So I felt badly to reach out to them, so I didn't, but knowing, you know, whatever the follow-up or maintenance program could be, I think that would be great.
That's a really good point. Yeah, like that could be a that could be a continuation of maybe like the program's done, but we're still going to check in to keep you consistent. Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I think, sorry,
yeah, I was going to say, it could be kind of like a membership kind of thing. Like maybe they're paying you $97 a month or something like that, you know, to get that added benefit.
I like that.
Just
yeah. And it's like their choice. It's month by month. You want another month to really dial in this commitment, then $97 or whatever it is, here we go, and you stay in. I really, really like that. I like that a lot.
If you did that, would it be something like that you would basically just provide those check-ins, not necessarily like teaching stuff? It would be more that check-in support sort of thing, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the program's done, the teaching is done. It's just like, do you want to stay accountable and committed? Here's an opportunity for that. Yeah. And I think, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, and it might create an opportunity, like let's say someone was like me and like they were good for a few weeks and then they fell off the wagon. Perhaps you can invite them to, you know, to a conversation where you can talk with them. Okay, here's where you could get back on track. You could try it out yourself, but if you need more support, maybe you want to re-enroll in this other, you know, program or something like that. Like maybe you'll have something else at a higher level for people who've already done it. They know all the stuff, but like,
and that's where like Journey 2.0 might come in too. Like
yeah,
to
whatever you call it, or maybe it's a I was also thinking, Stephanie, you talk about it, you have a what do you call it? Mastermind. Like, so maybe it's a mastermind of people, you know, in the same category.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like it could be say you have a group of people who do Journey 1, and then the option to stay committed is the mastermind, and an easy way to run it in my sense could be a group. It's like a group chat where you stay in and accountable, and every day that's your accountability buddies, and they're all in that. Yeah, mastermind, like an alumni group.
Yeah,
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that can be really good, because some people might not want to take Journey 2. Might be like, whoa, okay, Journey 1 is great and I understand it, but I need time to integrate this into my life and like feel this change into my life. And they're not ready for Journey 2, but they want that accountability.
Cool. I like that idea.
Awesome. Okay. So Journey 1, Journey 2, the difference is amazing. So what I'm seeing from your like business structure, you got two, like you would run Journey 1, and then what I would do is then run Journey 2. You might have the same people who are in Journey 1 join Journey 2, or you might have brand new people who don't need Journey 1 but are at a level for Journey 2. And then the one-on-one intensives and one-on-one like longer term coaching, this is what I say to anybody in any industry usually is one-on-one is usually always open. Like if someone came to you today and said, I would like one-on-one coaching, you would not turn them down. You'd be like, okay, right?
Right. I've never sold it or said it at all. I did have one person, a friend of mine, her mom like reached out when she went to Hawaii for 3 or 4 months and said, I'm old and I want some accountability and I want workouts that I can do and I don't want to go to a gym. What can I do? And so we like came up with a plan there for her, but it was really just more, here's your workout for the month. And then I checked in with her a little bit. So that way, but I've never like sold them or said that they existed by anything.
Right. So when you've never sold, like when you've never put it out there before, then I highly suggest like announcing and saying, we're opening spaces for private coaching. This is what it looks like. Reach out to me. That just to announce it and put it out there. What usually happens over time is you gain private clients from people who have been in your groups. So someone's going to be in a group and learn a lot and all these things, and then they're going to realize, you know what, I really want more individualized nutrition, workouts, whatever it is, and coaching and closer attention. And they might go from group to private client. That's a really like natural way for it to happen. Now, I'm not saying that it will never happen, that someone randomly might just come to you. And that's why I'm saying announcing it and saying we're opening spaces for private coaching, like letting people know that it's a thing. Okay. And then it's different than launching a group. Like when you launch a program, it's like, here's the start date, you know, let's get people in by a certain time. When it's private coaching and the spaces are kind of always open, it's something that you can kind of just trickle in your social media every once in a while. Something that I do want to say for all industries with private coaching is private coaching is like, I don't talk about private coaching all the time because to me, well, one, I don't want 1 million private clients, but also 2, I only want the private clients who I love. Like private clients it's a one-on-one relationship. It's a close relationship. It's different than a group. So private coaching can be very draining on your end if it's not an aligned client. So that's why like it's fun when naturally someone who you already know from a group or a program, like if any of you came to me and were like, Steph, I want you one-on-one, I would be like, yes, because I know you guys. I would, like, you know what I mean? There's people I would turn down and say no because I know like we're just not a good fit. You know what I mean? So when someone comes to you who you've already worked with in a group, you already know them. You kind of already know their style and you're like, yes, like I know you, boom, boom, boom. That's a great way. Now for fitness and health, I've never done private clients when I was doing fitness coaching, but it's up to you too. Like, do you want people to be a certain category? Do you want people to fill out a form so you really know where they're at? Like, are you looking for a certain type of client, or are you really open to anyone and you're able to plan something like very specific for any type of person? Just things to think about. Mm-hmm. But I think where you're at now is to just sprinkle it and put it out there and let people know that it's an option. We were talking about this, and actually speaking of the mastermind yesterday, is be innovative with your offers, especially with private, with one-on-one. Be innovative. Like if someone came to you and was like, I would like coaching, or I'm going away for a month and I want workouts, and say your normal one-on-one package doesn't look like that, be like, sure, I'll create a package for you that fits. You just want workouts for that month and there's no equipment, great, I'll make you something. You know what I mean? Like, as entrepreneurs and coaches, like we have so much flexibility to create really what people want.
Right.
You know, so if you want to be flexible with people, especially as you're building your clientele up and you kind of just, I don't want to say take what you can get, but take when someone's asking and give them something it becomes a great referral. It becomes a great testimonial. You know what I mean?
It also becomes like what you want to do as well. You know what I mean? Like that person that we did, like, she was older, and so she was like, nope, can't do that. And we were like, yeah, but you can't, you know. And then we realized like what we charged her and what she was really wanting was, we should have charged more, you know, if we're going to do it. And so we kind of like learned that along the way as well. So
Yeah.
that's you know, I agree, like take what you can get. And we're very early stages. We were like, we don't know, like this sounds good, but.
Exactly. And that's a great point. You learn what you like to coach, who you like to coach, how much you want it to be, how much work it's actually going to be, like that kind of thing. And as you excel or whatever, your standards are going to change, right? Like your standards are going to change of who you accept in private clients, or what the terms are and what it looks like and the commitment and stuff like that. Like in fitness, like you want someone to come into your world and have a transformation. That doesn't happen in a month.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like, and we were talking in the mastermind, because there's maybe, is there there's three fitness ladies in the mastermind, and they're thinking of like having different packages, like a 3-month, a 6-month, or a 12-month commitment. And to me, I'm like, yeah, that feels good, because on the other person's end, like you don't want to just say you have to sign up for a year. Like that's too much for people. 6 months might even be too much. But 3-month is like 3 months. If you want a transformation, at least 3 months. And that's like a minimum, because you as a coach, you want to see your client get results.
So then, like, if you look back at Journey, I put like 4 to 6 weeks, which is because to me, the content kind of goes weekly and then it's done. So would it be something that would be more of the delivery, like it would just be 4 to 6 weeks and we're done? Or maybe it is 9 weeks, but like 4 to 6 weeks of delivery of content, and then those other little pieces of the accountability kind of stretch through.
So
But
what
then
I
you
would
can
do
increase
is
your
keep
price.
it 4 to 6 weeks, because it's a group program. And if you do it long, like 9 weeks, you're going to get like burnt out from teaching.
Right.
So I would say, this is it. We're going to teach you the basics, all the things. And it's their choice if they want to do like the up level continuation. Yeah, it's their choice. For a group program, I would keep it something that, I don't want you to do something for like 9 weeks and you're like, oh my God, it's like week 7 and you're like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Even though, yes, it's their whole life.
Mm-hmm.
Fitness and health is your whole life. You should like just sign up for your whole life, right? But you're just here to teach them. Here's how to change your lifestyle. Here's the things. Here's what you get. Do you want more accountability? Here's the upgrade or continuation option. Here's Journey 2 to learn the advanced stuff. I think I wouldn't lengthen the program, but for individual coaching, that's where it's like, if someone wants private coaching, in my opinion, in fitness or in anything, they want a long transition. They want to go through a longer period. So that's where I would do a longer time frame with people.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about pricing for your online retreat, because you have in bold capitals, I don't know what to price this.
So when I was first thinking about this, I'm so new. I was like, just so that you guys know, like Journey 1, the first and second time that I sold it, it was $222. I am a teacher. I feel like no one will buy more than that. That is like some block that I'm slowly getting over. So that's where I'm coming from. I have friends. I live in a small little town.
None of these
smaller
things matter.
country town.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I live
I
in a
know,
small
but I'm
town,
just telling
so
you where my mind is
more
at.
than $200. Like,
I've gotten a little bit better. We ran it for 222 2 times in a row. The second time we were like, it's not going to be this price again. That's where like 333 has come. When I first thought about this online thing, I was like, you know, something along the lines of like $400 or $500. And then I thought it would be kind of fun. I think I talked with you, Stephanie, at one point when I was kind of talking about it, and you were like at the early stages, buy one, get one free, so that you could do it with a friend sort of thing. So maybe something along those lines. So and then I was like, okay, I could increase it a little bit. Then all this COVID stuff happened, and I'm like, oh, maybe just to get people going, that, you know, so 444 kind of sticks out in my head, but so that's kind of where I'm at pricing wise. But then it's going to be impactful and, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday sort of things. So, and then I pay more money for things that I'm like, okay, am I being stupid for charging it this much? So that's kind of where I'm at in my head with money stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, so the thing with an online retreat, like, well, the thing with pricing in anything is it doesn't matter. You could charge $1,000, you could charge $444. It's what you've got to get behind. But I will tell you this, the first time that you do this, it is going to be, the ROI for you is going to be huge because of the social proof. You know what I mean? Like, yes, people are going to pay and you're going to get money for hosting it, and you deserve whatever you get. But you're going to get so much social proof, and people, you know, with the taking pictures and the experiences, and you're going to show behind the scenes, and it's going to create a huge buzz beyond just, you know, money, right? So there's that to consider. Now, to compare it to like an actual in-person retreat, like online, you are not paying for people's food. You're not paying for people's accommodation. You're not paying for, you know, whatever. Like when I host retreats or whatever, people pay me, and then I'm like, okay. And then I go a little crazy, and I'm like, I'm going to pay for everything. And then I'm like, holy shit, I just lost about a couple $1,000. But that's just me, right? But in an online thing, it still is your time. It's your time. It's your time, and it's their commitment. So I don't want people to sign up for something and it's like so cheap, and they're like, yeah, I only paid whatever, I'm not going to show up for those 2 days. You want the skin in the game. You want them to know, like, I'm in this. I paid X amount for this weekend. Like, they booked off the weekend. They're committed to this experience, right?
Right.
I personally feel good with what you can get behind, around $500 for this right now. Ladies, opinions for something like this, for either you running it or you joining it? Does that feel good, running something like this for your first time? 300?
No, at least 500.
At least 500. Erica, what are you saying?
I meant, was it for 3 days?
It's Friday night,
Friday night, Saturdays, and then a Sunday morning.
How many hours total?
Well, so I have like a Friday, like a welcome breath work. I'm thinking like an hour-ish, hour and a half at the beginning. The Saturday would include a workout in the morning, kind of like a schedule of classes. So there would be like time, whatever, a workout in the morning, a cooking class to be had, a motivational speech, and then a craft time. So at least an hour-ish plus for each of those. And then Sunday would be a time where, like, I would say like in between 9 and noon or something along those lines, we would do a hike wherever you're at, and then come back for a live goodbye at like 12:31, something, maybe even later in the afternoon, to give people that time to do the hike. And then that would just be like an exit, 30 plus minutes. So 4, 5, 6, 7 hour total.
Well, with what you said, and knowing there's always gaps between things and you're still actively working, I think you're closer to 10 hours. Are they going to be getting any kind of material goods or pamphlets or creative work on
I
their end?
created, thank you for saying that. I didn't even put that on there, but I created like a digital online journal to use that can be used. I think I made it for a 30-day thing, and then we'll do, obviously, like, try to get them started on those sort of things. So I have a digital journal that they can write on, or they could print off, and then the craft that I have, I forget what the like actual name of it is, but basically it's a box like to like build your goals sort of things. And so I thought either, well, what I was wanting to do is kind of have not me send that information or that stuff, because I think it's personal, like how they wanted to do it, but they would have to have that stuff delivered prior to the actual thing, or bring it to the table if they actually wanted to do it. So
Okay.
I wouldn't send that, but it would be.
Is that something they would order through you, or that
I don't know.
you will
I don't know.
provide a link?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that it's more not what they would order from me, just what they would have. So that wouldn't be something that it would just
be like a list. These are the things you need. Make sure you have it for the week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something along those lines.
I'm thinking at least 600. More like 777. Honestly, that's the number that just goes in my gut and goes boom.
Yeah.
And that, to be honest, was like the very first number that ever, and then I talked myself out of it and I went to 400. See, I'm not. I tell you, like that's it's your teacher
girl.
pay at heart. Like, I mean, that is where I am.
Well, that's your number.
Yeah.
Don't fight it. That's your number. 777.
It's a 3-day experience. So, and think of it too, is it's not just a program. You're not just learning, it's an experience. It's an experience. So you're learning and you're implementing and you're being in something. You're going to remember it in a whole different way. Like it, you know what I mean? It's an experience.
Like a 3-day vacation. You're
right.
going away.
That's what I had, like in my
for 777. That's so good.
Yeah.
That's a good weekend getaway. That's excellent.
That's that's what I thought, and then I kind of talked myself out with COVID. I'm like, who's gonna want to do it, because we're so trapped.
You need to stop that.
But
everyone wants to get out of their own head right now, including myself.
Right.
I fell trapped to it. We all want to get back into a new world that we are creating right now.
Right,
and they would, I mean, if you could knock this out the next month or so, people would probably still love it, because things honestly are not going to change much this summer.
No, I don't think
They're
so
not.
either. That's why I'm thinking like
now.
July-ish, like, right? Just because of my time, like I'm just going to be pretty busy through June.
Yeah,
and so
I feel like
July-ish.
people need this now. Yeah.
And so people are going to love this because of that, but I don't want you to think because of COVID, I need to lower my prices.
Yeah.
I know, because I know that's what you're thinking.
It is. But then I see then like what I'm paying for and what other people are paying for. Like,
it's what you decide.
Yeah.
So I want to, and this is going to be helpful for anybody who feels this, is I remember the date, March 13th is when things started to go haywire here. And I said, I have a choice. I can fall for all the people who are saying, lower your prices, blah, 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 or I can raise my standards and be someone who calls people to rise. And I chose to do that. And my business and my clients' businesses are doing so well. Like, and people are still buying.
It's so weird, because I posted this yesterday too in the Confidence to Cash. Like, it's like I know, and I'm like, okay, I got this. I'm gonna do it. And then there is like a wall of fear that just
What's the fear?
I don't know. Like
that no one's gonna buy.
No one's gonna buy. I don't know. I'm not like, I don't have enough followers. I don't know how to advertise it. Like, and then I stop myself and I'm like, okay, I'm backed up. And then I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, that seriously is been my head game in these last like little bits of time.
Those fears of no one gonna buy are gonna be there whether it's COVID or not.
Right, for sure. This isn't a COVID.
So it's knowing that there's always gonna be a fear of, what if I put this out there and no one buys? We're all in Confidence to Cash here. I don't know if you watched the Confidence to Cash codes, and one of the things is, let's not make it personal.
Right.
As much as it is, and I get it, we're human, like we create these things. And Erica, I know you're like, right, it's hard to put stuff out there when you created it yourself, and then it's basically putting your whole world out there and then saying, world, decide if you like it or not. and it's really going to hurt if you don't hear anything.
It's
like
totally like if somebody trash talked your kid, you know, or your husband or whatever.
But there's always going to be that fear. There's always going to be the fear. I still have a fear of like, no one's going to buy, like, what if no one buys? What if no one joins? What if but you can't let it stop you from not putting it out there. And I think what happens is if no one buys, you take a break and you sell it again.
I think it's my fear of my advertising model. I don't know how else to say that too, is that like, and we've talked about this before. I love your Instagram stories. Like that is where you do your sales and do that. And I feel that and I want to go there. But then I feel like I was just talking to my husband today about it, like that I feel like I don't get as many followers. However, when I am on my stories and posting and doing more, then the numbers go up. And he's like, Christy, what the fuck are you doing? Like, if that's what you're doing, then keep doing it. Like, why do you stop? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't.
Too.
Yeah. And I said, I feel like I'm a stupid 40-year-old woman on Instagram and I talk myself out of it. And then I don't go for a couple of days. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then I go and I do it and I see the numbers increase. So then I don't know. I don't know why that block is there and why I pull myself back. Cause I feel really strong. I feel like I know what I'm doing and I have all these tools that I've learned and done. It's just that I get to right here and I feel it in my stomach. I'm like, this is it. And then I pull back and I don't want to pull back anymore.
May I share something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I totally get all of this. I experience it in my own way. I haven't even released a program yet, but I get what you are saying. The thing I'm having to remind myself as I'm going through a phase of anxiety and fear in different areas of my life is that why are we doing this? Because there is a woman out there, or a man, depending on your model, who needs to hear what you have to share with your voice, with your energy, with your heart. So every time I start to freak out recently, it's like, no. I've gotten where I've gotten because I've stuck with it. Mm-hmm. And what I've learned and the lessons I have learned and the methodologies and tools I've developed for myself or taken from others has allowed me to improve my life over all of these years. So when you get scared, we have to go back to, who is this for? It's not for us. It's not. So it helps me recenter and get out of the ephemera of all of it all the details, and get back to this.
I think a lot of times too, I feel, and I don't know if it's the teacher in me, like the whole, like, I don't want to say something that somebody else has already said. Like, I feel like I'm stealing or copywriting or, you know, cut and pasting and, you know.
Oh, no. Right. We're all sharing. In the end, the world is love. We're all energy. It's all the same thing. It's all the same.
Right,
but
right.
The way you say it is exactly the medicines someone else needs to hear.
Right. And I know that, but I don't know that. Like that, you know, that's what that
I'm learning too. I know.
Well,
I know.
You know to me too, but that is, yeah. I just need to get over myself.
Yeah.
It's one of those things I think sometimes is those fears are there and the fears are valid. One thing that works for me is sometimes I say, what if I don't let this block or this fear be part of my pattern anymore? What if this just isn't part of the equation anymore? And anytime I find my mind go to a block or a fear or whatever, I'm just like, nope, Steph, we don't do this anymore. We don't, this isn't part of the puzzle anymore. And an example, literally what used to happen when I went into a launch phase is I would be so excited. I would launch something. And then the next day I'm like, not enough people are signed up. This isn't going to work. I'm so like, I would be like, no, negative. I did it for so long. And then I said, this is not part of the puzzle anymore. I'm not letting, and that was the shift I needed. I'm like, it could be that simple. So maybe if you get into a group like showing up KKK, then whatever wall it is that you hit that you don't want to show up anymore, be like, no, Christy, we're still going. People are watching. This is amazing. Like, we're not stopping. This isn't part of the routine anymore. We're still going to show up.
Yeah, I like that. I just wrote that down. I like that.
Because sometimes we look for, why is this block happening? Why is it? And sometimes we don't know. And then we waste all our time trying to find an answer and it's not there. What if it was just so easy to say, this isn't part of it anymore. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, I like that.
Make it easy. Make it easy. Yeah. But the money thing, the pricing thing, the whatever, it comes with confidence. It comes with, as more people buy, you're gonna get behind the pricing more. So just choose what you get behind and own it. You've invested a lot. You would do something like this and pay a heck of a lot more, right? So own who you want to call in. You want to call in people who value what you're giving them, and they're going to pay.
And who show up and want to be there. And yeah, for sure. Like
1,000,000%. A million percent. Okay.
As we go through this, if anyone has any brilliant names for that online retreat, shoot them my way, because I'm mulling over that. So
I would even just, well, this is what's coming to my mind. I would either call it Journey the Retreat or Food Drives the Mood the Retreat. Like, keep it super simple and on brand. Okay. The online retreat experience. Because you're covering all pillars of your brand.
Right. I like that.
I mean, if you want to keep it simple, that's what I would do.
I could even like Food Drives the Mood Retreat and then have like a caption call line that's fun and, vacation-y.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's great. Okay.
I have a question or a thought, if you don't mind. So if this retreat were in person, Christy, were you planning on providing food?
My goal, like years from now, is to one day have a retreat. Like, this kind of was born in this way. My really good friend and my brother were divorced around the same sort of time, and they ended up in my hometown a few years ago, and at the same time. And I'm very outdoorsy and go hiking and do all this stuff. So we kind of like lived that life. And we went on hikes and we went on kayak trips and we cooked and we just talked and chatted. And I have my counseling degree, and we, like, as we were on hikes, we were chatting and counseling and doing all of that kind of stuff. And I joked and I was like, I should have a divorce retreat like that. And this was before Food Drives the Mood at all. I was like, I should have a divorce retreat and we could do all of these. And because at the end they were like, oh my God, this was the best time. Like, my mind is clear, my this is that. So when I started doing Food Drives the Mood, my business plan in the future is to one day host retreats, something along those lines, where yes, like food would be taught, or I would love to have even like high school kids come and learn movement and breathing and how to eat healthy snacks, and I could teach cooking and do some of those kinds of things. So then yes, food and that kind of stuff would be supplied and also taught, and the whole experience be from beginning to end. And then I was like, wait, we're on this online space, so I could totally do it online. And that's how it was kind of born to be online, with someday in the future to be a real live experience.
Awesome. And you and I should hook up and talk, because I do matrimonial work. But where I was going with this was, if you're going to be giving them a list, I took notes over here. So if you're going to give them a list of like things to do for that craft, and like maybe you're going to want them to have, I don't know, like a bowl of nuts and a bowl of berries or something, and you have some kind of experience they want them to have, then you can actually price it a little bit higher than that 777 and say, look, I understand, if we were together in person, I would be providing this, but because I'm not, instead of it being, $999, it's 777, because I realize you have to be out of pocket, to cover them so that you get the full experience. I want us all to be in the same vibe, you can kind of sell it from that perspective too.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
That was the thought that came to my mind. And they're saving on travel, they're saving on hotel. Like, this is actually a very inexpensive experience that they're going to go through with you and together, and it's just going to be awesome. And
I love that point too. I did a VIP day last year I think it was $3,500 is for one person. And then I paid for the stay, their food, and all the things. I'm doing a VIP day with 2, maybe 3 women. They're local. It's going to be one day. It's 6 hours. The only thing I'm quote unquote paying for is their food and then my coaching. And it's going to be, it's $1,500. Right. But it's a different experience. It's a different experience. Like the one in October, we went to Toronto. We stayed in the best hotel. We did all these things where now it's like, okay, well, we can't go to restaurants. I can't rent a space to do it. Like it's different. So to me, it made sense to like lower the price. You know what I mean? Because I'm not covering all of that. But if it would have been a different situation, then it would have been, okay, this is a higher level thing. Right. So, but positioning it in that way.
Or do you charge for your retreat that you had that was supposed to be in April?
Oh, that was the summit. There was no retreat.
Oh, so that was.
And it depends. My retreats depend on. My first ever retreat was $1,000, and that was in 2018, and it was $1,000 and 5 women came. It should have been much more, but I could only get behind asking people to give me $1,000.
What's the difference between a summit and a retreat?
So the summit is almost like a conference.
Oh, okay.
It's like, it's just like 100 people coming and it's boom. A retreat is, for me, is like 5 women, maybe max 10 women, whatever. You come for an experience to all hang out. It's community building, whatever. The summit is like an event.
So if I did this retreat online, should I max it at a certain amount? Like how, just let it be for whoever, like it doesn't.
Don't max it.
Okay.
You have all the people come.
Okay.
You don't need to max it.
I wasn't thinking of it, but then I was like, oh, should I have a like limit of whatever? No.
No, I wouldn't do that. No. Okay. Okay. So you feel good about the retreat?
I'm going to step away for just a second. I can hear everything, but I have a friend borrowing a kayak, and so I'm going to set the kayak out while
it's all good.
So I'm going to mute and
all good.
Okay.
Okay. We'll move on. Who would like to go? Yes. Okay. Let me bring up all the things. Now let me find. Here we go.
I don't know if you peeked at it yet, but it's quite a lot.
I didn't. But
I gave you everything. I dumped it all. I gave you everything.
This is like an essay. Okay. So
I'll try to quickly walk you through it if you like.
Yes, walk us through it.
And then I don't know where to go from here, but essentially I just laid out all my offers, like just everything that my firm does. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm an attorney in Manhattan, and we offer services to people getting married and divorced, and we also do real estate closings. But primarily a lot of our work is in divorce. So the thing that I've been offering them, my favorite thing in the world to do, is the first item, which is my harmonious divorce system. Essentially what it is people come to me to mediate their divorce, and then I'll draft up all their documents. So what this is just explaining is that if they come for mediation, they pay a $5,000 retainer, and then I bill them by hourly. So depending upon how many sessions they need, it's in 2-hour increments, and so whatever time they need. And if, for instance, if they only use up 2 sessions, that there's obviously money left over from the $5,000, I apply it toward the drafting and their court filing fees. And obviously, if it costs more than that, they'll pay the difference to supplement it. So that's the first one. Contested divorce. Just like you would expect if you were going to hire any lawyer in your divorce, you have to pay a retainer deposit, and then you'll bill hourly for everything, like your phone calls and emails and anything you could think of, even my thinking and strategizing about their case. It's all related to their divorce. If we're just starting out the case just from the get-go, it's a $5,000 down, and then every month as they're billed, they'll replenish the retainer. So it's an evergreen. If I'm taking over the case from another lawyer, I charge a minimum of $10,000. Sometimes it's $15,000 as a retainer. It depends upon like how complicated it is. Some people have a family and divorce and orders of protection and all kinds of craziness going on. But for the most part, it's usually $10,000, except to catch up, get copies of their file from the predecessor counsel, blah, blah, Okay, then here, the uncontested divorce situation. So then I've had people come to me and they're like, well, can't you give us a flat fee for things? And so I came up with these different ways that they can do it. So, and these aren't like formal names, it's just what I laid out here for my cheat sheet. So if they worked it on their own and they come to me like, Sabra, we already know what we're doing. We've already resolved everything. Can't you just draft the paperwork for us? The answer is yes, depending upon whether they have assets and no kids or if they have assets and children. There's different price ranges. And what that includes is they'll have like a 1 to 2 hour meeting with me. We'll make sure that everything's been covered, and in fact they do have agreements on everything. Then I draft the paperwork. We may go back and forth a few times with the revisions. Then we'll arrange for them to sign it, and then I take care of the rest. So I file it in court, I follow up, whatever needs to happen. So that's that flat fee. Consulting attorney. So sometimes people go to a different person as a mediator, and so they'll want to have someone on their team to specifically give advice and counsel to them throughout their process. So I'll come on as a consulting attorney. I charge a $3,500 retainer up front. Again, it's billed hourly. So they'll use a couple of hours of my time, I refund them back whatever wasn't used. So that's that. Let's scroll up a little bit more. So retainer basis, again, it's the same thing. It's just kind of outlining what the services are. You don't really need to go through that.
Okay.
Okay, this is like the new thing that you saw with me in the Offer Incubator program. What's exciting is actually originally I was planning to only do the beta if people didn't have children, but actually I finally found somebody who wants to do it and they have children and they're like totally in. And they're like, let us know when you have the other 3 couples. I'm like, awesome. So now I have to get out there and I actually shot a video the other day. I'm waiting for it to be edited where I'm saying, you know, hey, I have this new program and this is what I'm doing and we're looking for 3 more couples and you need to send me an email and we'll get on the phone with you and see if you're a good fit for this program. Good luck. You know, so that's exciting. So that's what the beta program with children. And so right now I quoted a fee of $2,000. I think it should be more, but as a beta, I think that's a good price point. She also asked me questions because I explained to her I'm only going to help her with the paperwork. Like basically when they finish the program, it's 2 days, they're going to have all the paperwork all filled out. That's it. And she's like, well, what about filing in court? I said, well, I'll give you a cheat sheet and you can go take care of it. She's like, well, if we want you to do it, what do you charge? So then I had to like think on the spot. I'm like, well, it's about $400 for the court fees. So I charge an additional $600 because I have to go back to the court a couple of times and sit with the people and like everything else. So it's $1,000 more if they want us to do that. Same thing with without children. So without children, it's less because I'm not going to need to spend as much time. There's only 2 issues instead of like 5 that need to be dealt with. So it's $1,000 for the beta. And then again, if they want me to file the paperwork for them, same price because it's the same work. So that's that.
So that's amazing that you found someone already though, and that sparked more ideas of things to add into this that you didn't really think of.
Correct.
Additional things. So that's amazing. And this video thing sounds really exciting.
I know, I can't wait for it to come back. It's supposed to be edited now, but I haven't.
So someone like professionally did it and everything? Yeah. Oh my gosh. You're gonna have to make sure I see that or share it somewhere where we can see it.
Absolutely. Yes, I'm very excited.
Amazing. Okay. And then I think this is the last page.
Yeah. So then the other services we provide is prenuptial and postnuptial agreements and real estate. So it's very simple, very straightforward, but actually I would love your input, Stephanie, on prices. Usually people go with my option 2 on the prenup. It's probably obvious to you why. So most people go with that. So I charge a flat fee of $3,500, but I cap my rate at 10 hours because I don't know about you, but people like to take advantage. or I'm in the middle of a situation that I have no idea that the other side are crazy and like we're on the phone and negotiating for hours and hours and hours and then my rate like gets whittled down. So I say, look, you know, you should be able to get the prenup done within 10 hours. It's a reasonable amount of time. You know, hopefully that's it. You're 3,500 one and done. But sometimes there are circumstances where the other side or issues come up that you didn't realize that need to be resolved or discussed or figured out, or questions come up that need more time and attention. So then it'll be billed at my regular hourly rate. But if they're coming to me and it's a rush, you know, and I literally have to drop everything. Like this recently happened at a client that originally was gonna get married this summer, and then because of COVID, now the state announced that people can get married virtually on virtual video chat like this. And so one of the news guys, we have a station called New York One, announced that he's an officiant, and so he's looking for a couple to get married. So his fiance at the time, she loves this guy, follows him all the time, so she posted on his Twitter post, and I think she knew people who knew him, but anyway, they got selected, and within 48 hours I had to put together their prenup, and we were literally signing it through a virtual.
Oh, did she cut out for everyone?
Yeah. She froze. Oh, she's all gone. Oh.
We will probably realize what happened and then come back on.
Yeah. We'll wait. This is so good. Hopefully she pops back on because we're right in the middle of it all. We'll see. How you guys feeling?
Good.
Good?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry when I'm smiling if you all see a hole in my teeth. I have recently had some really intense oral surgery.
Oh.
And wearing I'll end up getting an implant. The titanium post is in there, but I won't get the permanent tooth for several months. I'm like, it's my my hillbilly smile.
Yeah, it doesn't show up.
No, I can't even tell. Can't even tell. You look gorgeous.
Oh, shut.
Okay, so she's off, so I feel like she's gonna pop back on. That's what I feel like is gonna happen.
She's a smart lady. She will figure this out.
She's a smart one. I think she'll know how to get back on Zoom.
Got some brains there. I'll do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry I'm getting up and down so much, but I drink so much water.
I know, that's why I ran in and went to the bathroom when I took out my kayak out there. I was like, my husband's like, go back to your class. I was like, me and this other girl wearing the same thing.
Awesome.
So fun. Oh my God. I love this. I love this so much.
It's fun. I just personally needed this so much. I've really been struggling, and it's like, as Melanie says, if I don't quit today, I won't quit. Just gotta keep walking. Gotta keep walking.
I know that it helps you to not hide.
It does. I've even been writing like the fact that Sabra just said when she had that one person come to her, just the contact with that one person sparks her creativity. Wrote it down. Contact with others sparks creativity, because it's so true. I come to life when I can interact with people. So yeah, I was hiding.
So that's the thing that was noticed when you hide. Like I do if I ever hide, and I don't hide much, but if I hide, I'm like, I make my problem worse. I make it feel worse than it is, because I'm hiding. Well, I hid for a couple days now. If I pop back out, people are going to be like, what's going on? And then, you know what I mean? But like,
I do.
You know what but we're all human. And if we need space, we need space. But just know I was sending you love, because I know that you needed love. And I'm happy that you're here.
Spot. I am too. I was like, damn it, Erica, pull it together.
I was like, she better show up for this. She's coming to this. This will be good for her. So
I made it happen, and I cranked out I redid my program this morning, even though it's just everything out of my brain.
Drawing. I tried to look at it. I was like blowing it up. I mean, it's
the quickest way I could do it was just like draw. I actually got like a big mixing bowl for the circle and like a little plate, and then just started.
So I just actually looked at my message, and Sabra said that her internet went out. Oh. So she's going to try and come back on when she can. So let's then not waste the time. Do you want to go, Erica, since you were just talking about your circle?
Sure. Let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
So I can bring it up, and then do you want to talk?
Yeah.
Share?
I can do that. All right. Sorry, this is so small, everyone. Hey, Steph, is that the picture from Facebook, or is it the picture that I emailed you?
It's the picture from Facebook. I'll see what the email one looks like.
Yeah, because usually what happens is when we upload photographs to Facebook, it will reduce, like if you double click on it and open it up in a new window and then expand it, at least the resolution should be a little higher. There we go. I can like move across the picture as it, okay, great. So, as many of you have probably gathered, I'm a talker. I also sing. I love to write. Most of my connection with people has been through speaking. I know I have an intuitive gift where random people will walk up to me and just start sharing their life story with me. And somehow I will just end up knowing what to say, and we both walk away feeling better. I've had this my entire life. I've just always been hit with like just bits and pieces of knowledge that could help someone. And I've realized the last couple of years of doing all my work that this is a gift outside of corporate America that feels good to me and that I want to share. And of course, all the, like Chris was talking about, all the fears of self-doubt and negativity, and like I'm not good enough and no one's gonna want it, and who's gonna listen to me. Anyway, so something that occurred to me a few months ago was that, oh, okay, there's Cyber's message. I was trying to figure out who the hell I was and a good way to define myself. Not that we want to limit ourselves by definition, but who am I? I'm a voice inside of a body. I sing, I speak, and I write. Those are my gifts. And through time, I said, you know what, that's my gift. And I know that so many women grow up in this world, either through society or their family or whatever it is, spousal relations. We learn to not express ourselves. We learn to assume that whatever direction we are being pulled in is the correct one. We assume that feeling bad is okay because we're just going along, we're just going with the flow. And I know that relearning that for myself, and I still go through it. I just went through it these last 2 weeks. And it's a never-ending thing, just like every other thing in our life. We have to reintegrate and relearn and move on. But that is something I know I can share with women. And it won't matter if they're in coaching, it won't matter if they're a housewife, it won't matter if they're in corporate America. This is something that I truly feel applies to most women in the world. So my program is going to be one where, through different methodologies and tools and journaling and just getting them to speak, literally speak, use their voices, they may learn how it feels in their body or in their mind, or triggers that come on when they are not allowing themselves to be heard or to do what they want in their lives, limiting themselves. So I was hiding during the Offer Incubator class, so I'm kind of back to the first visualization, where we basically put it all on the plate. This is what I've got. I have not thought about pricing. I have not thought about program length, although I'm thinking 3 to 4 weeks is more than enough. Maybe three is kind of feeling good. I'm a little woo, but not completely woo. I use it in a way that it creates a reference point for things. Like a lot of us, when we feel insecure or we feel like we're not speaking or we're not being heard, I feel it in my gut. So I can kind of say that's the second and third chakra area. Like if I get really emotionally upset like this week, I'll kind of get some lower GI distress. It's my body communicates to me, something's not right. Mm-hmm. So if I can communicate that to them, that maybe they feel it in their heart, maybe they feel it in their throat, maybe it's up here. Learning those triggers is very important for women to realize, okay, my body is telling me something. What is it trying to tell me? The body always knows. I truly believe that. I work a lot in symbolism and metaphor. I like connecting images so that people can relate that to a feeling or a trigger or an action they need to take. I like to talk to people about things that could have happened in their lifetime. People talk about inner child work. That's a big buzzword, I know, but it's there for a reason. Mm-hmm. We all learn some really insane things from our families and society and school and being bullied, like just so many things. And we adapt as we need to fit in. And I think it especially applies to a lot of women who are highly sensitive or empathic. I'm sure that most women in the coaching field are one of those two flavors, if not both. I know that I am. Mm-hmm. And we feel things more deeply. We think things more deeply. And we want to make people happy. But we got to be happy too. So this is what I've got. I have not actually formulated my structure.
Okay.
Which lessons will come first, in what order they will come. I feel confident that is going to happen. I can kind of feel it starting to like the little mist of it coming down.
So I don't know if you went through all of it, and if you didn't, it's fine. It's still in the Offer Incubator group because you guys are still in it. And it basically talk about when we create a method, it's like a mixture of what you did yourself because you went through this experience yourself, and then you basically take like the main pieces that worked through your journey, and then you develop it into a method that you can teach people.
Okay.
So for me to explain that, like how I teach Instagram, I'm like, okay, well, what did I do? Okay, then let me break it down into steps that I can teach people. You know what I mean? So ask yourself like what you did, and maybe journal on it, let it be messy, and then really like piece out, okay, these are the steps, these are the things, and then that's how you break down the modules. Like, okay, I'm gonna cover this. Okay, this was a big one. This is gonna take, a couple trainings or whatever. That from there, you're going to be able to deviate it down and take people through a process. And another thing, I'm not sure if you just didn't say it, or if it wasn't on there, is to just get clear of like, when a woman goes through this, what is her end result? What is she going to, at the end of the program, have? What tools is she going to have? What's the experience going to be like what? So it's very clear for you as you're creating it and as you deliver it that you're taking them through something to achieve X, whatever it is.
Absolutely. Yep.
Right. And I know that you have going through a period of like, it's scary to share it. It's scary to put yourself out there. Like, Erica, I know you because of how, like, since we've been in the same networks and you've been in many of my programs, like, for anyone to do this work, it's you. Like, you literally embody what this is. Like, this is you. So please trust your heart and soul that like you sharing this is a gift.
Thank you. I've got a couple other nudges lately, and they were signs from God that this is it. The last few lives I've done where I just decide to riff on something or share from my heart or write something, people reach out to me privately and or on the post. Thank you for sharing that. That's what I needed to hear today. So it's the power of one. That one person who hears you, that's what matters that day.
Yes.
It's what matters.
We get in the mindset of going wide. We need all the people. Go deep.
Right.
Go deep. It's those close connections. It's those people who are there.
Crying.
No, and that's okay. Like, this is a lot. Yes. But that's when we go deep and you care and we all care. Right. So go deep with the people that are already here, and it's gonna grow naturally. But we tend to want more people, but like, give everything that you've got to the people who are there and showing up now, and it's naturally gonna grow.
Right. And I feel that in my heart and my soul. I know that to be truth. I'm not worried about numbers. I truly am not. It's about clarity in my own channel, like what I'm hearing from whoever is guiding me, or what's from my heart or my experiences, and communicating that to someone so they know they aren't alone. So they can then, and something I'd like to share that is on this, and this is very important to me too. And this was, obviously a massive part of the summit that Melanie just did, Queens of the Internet. Down the lower right-hand corner of that page, I wrote the ripple effect from the heart. I drew a red heart, and then I have 4 spokes coming out from it. And if I affect 4 people, and they are somehow able to integrate that into their lives, some kind of change which then affects 4 or 2 people in their lives, one person speaking their truth from their heart can have a massive ripple effect down the line. It may take years, it might take a week, but it changes the planet. And we need that more now than ever.
I feel that. And I'm so happy that you related that to the Queens of the Internet, because, so I want to share, like, basically what happened, how that all evolved was, we're doing a summit. Everyone who's in the Hypermind is going to speak. What? Okay. Literally
this
didn't know.
Phenomenal. Oh my God.
Literally didn't know what was happening until like the day of. And I go on just to share my story, because that's all I didn't even teach anything. Like, I just go to share my story. And exactly what Erica said happened is that week, 2 people hired me private coaching. they saw one video. I've never seen their names in my life. They came in my inbox and said, I saw you on Queens of the Internet. I'd like to hire you. I had zero expectation. I just shared my story. And then, but the ripple effect of them doing that and then now into their businesses and who they're going to impact, like, is so important. And it's also something that I think I shared in the mastermind too, but it's like, we think we need to show up everywhere and do all these things and post and do a million different things. But like, it was one video. It was one powerful video. So it's like one post, one video. People are still going to see it. It doesn't get deleted from the internet. Someone can find it. And that one powerful thing. So think quality over having to do a million things, a million posts. Quality, that one thing someone might find to be like, this is it. I need to connect with you. And that's the power of this work.
Yep.
Everyone needs all of you. There's someone who needs your way of saying it, your way of doing it. Like, someone needs you. So I love that.
I didn't mean to sidetrack into that summit, but
Okay.
ladies, if you've not heard of Queens of the Internet, the group
I think
still
everyone's
exists.
been in it. Yeah.
Oh, so much crying.
So I'm just gonna say, to be on the other side of it, that was the most exhausting week of my life. And I didn't, because I scheduled everyone's in and I changed my calendar so I could be on everyone's, and then being in the hypermind, that's like a mastermind on steroids. It's an amazing thing, but there's a lot in there. And then everyone, because of that, we didn't know what was going to happen, and everyone experienced something, whether it was really good or it brought some crap up for some people. Like, it was a big, what's the word I'm looking for?
Catharsis.
Yeah.
It was a catharsis for so many women.
It was for some of the women, it was like that was a trigger for me, because we were all then seeing, this is what happens. So, like, a lot of people were really resonating with one person, and then one person was getting a bunch of new clients, and someone else was like, well, why am I not getting new clients from Queen of the Internet? And then they're like, why does everyone like her? Oh my God, was my thing not good enough? That's what happens though. But we all learned how to deal with that on a whole new level. There's always still comparison. There's always still jealousy. There's always still, did I do good enough? Oh my God, you know what I mean? And so it brought up a lot of people found their power from that. A lot of people felt triggered. And then when you feel triggered, it's really a sign of, what am I making it mean about me? Why don't I feel good enough? And a trigger is brought up, and it would be there anyways. That insecurity is there anyways, but it just brought up because of something. You know what I mean? So that was a whole another thing. I don't even know what just happened. But for people experiencing it, for us, for Melanie, like, and her team, that was huge. Like, she was, and I mean, I'm not one to say it, but like, that was right before they left Hawaii, and they were doing so much, and then they put together this, and it was like a whole other thing on top of everything that they're doing. But it was incredible, and I don't know how a summit is going to top that. I don't know, but anyways.
Anyway, okay.
That's
Back,
the whole thing.
back
Okay.
to me.
Back to you, Erica. You're the one who brought up Queens of the Internet. Okay.
I totally am, and I don't regret it.
Okay.
It's absolutely valid information.
What do you need for your offer? Or what are you like, okay, I've got this. What support do you need? What questions do you have?
With regards to I'm trying to get out of the whole time for money exchange. It's not applicable.
Yeah.
When you think about self-expression and fears that you have or anxieties that come up, or what situations do you encounter in your life where you feel like you have to hold back, or that your opinion or your desires don't matter? Would each of you be willing to like share 30 to 60 seconds with me about what you encounter? Or as I have been speaking, what has come up for you, whether it's like symbolism or imagery or exact experiences? That would help me a lot.
So just what people are like when someone feels like they can't speak up, what comes to them, or like what is an example of when that happens?
Yeah, just feelings, specifics, situations. Just if you would like to share with me right now, I would really appreciate just like an idea. So I know what I feel, I know what I go through, and as humans, we all experience similar things. But since this is my first offer, having input from other women who are doing similar things would really be helpful right now.
Okay.
Are you talking about like freedom of self-expression? Like you're feeling free to say whatever's on your mind?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Before all this started happening, I was taking a whole bunch of courses at Landmark. I don't know if you've heard of Landmark.
Mm-hmm.
So their whole thing is about freedom of self-expression. And I was enrolled in a communication course, but I still have no idea when that's going to happen. But for me, I don't know where this came from or why I do this, but I often self-edit. Like, so I'll have a thought in my head and then I won't say it because I'll be like, wait, let me rethink it through of how they might react to it. And then I'll say it in a way that I think that they'll receive it. And then sometimes they still don't like it. Anyway, the bottom line is I need to just like say what's on my mind, regardless of how other people may receive it or not, because I know this intellectually, but people have the right to accept or reject whatever I'm saying whenever I say it. So it doesn't matter. I know I keep shitting myself, I realize, but anyway, but I'd like to get to a place where I just say what's on my mind or my thoughts, my feelings, and obviously I want to use what's the word I'm looking for? I want to be respectful of people that I'm speaking to, but at the same time, I want to say what's on my mind without editing it first, because that then goes into a whole nother thing, like who the heck are you to decide whether or not I can handle whatever it is that you were going to share with me anyway. Right. I'm kind of acting like God, which is kind of crazy that I have this thought in my mind. I don't know why.
No, we all do it though. We want to be accepted and loved and respected, and in the self-editing, I think sometimes, I think there's a time for self-editing, especially if it's a very high energy situation. We want to make sure that we're communicating in a very emotionally intelligent way. And there's a lot of those communication styles where they say to not say things like you did this or you caused me to feel. Instead, it's when this happened, I felt. There's that.
Yeah, but I
think that there are also times when you need to just say it so that your full energy is behind it, because if we edit it down too much, it's not the true message anymore.
Absolutely. And I wasn't referring to that. Like, I'm an attorney, so I go to court. Believe me, there are plenty of thoughts that go through my head that I'd like to say and use the F-bomb and all the other stuff, and I can't speak that way. So I'm not talking about those situations or when you're talking to your boss or, but even in just situations like this where we're talking, or if I'm with friends or with a loved one or whoever, and I want to share certain things, I may edit it because I think they can't handle it. And, it's like, I should just say it. Like, who cares? If they don't like it, they could say I don't like it, and then we could have another conversation about that. And then that could lead to something else or something more, which would be maybe more powerful or more interesting. Who knows? But I take that away when I hold back or change my thoughts.
Has anyone ever edited or held back from sharing what they really wanted to share on social media?
I was just going to say that I feel like I'm pretty outspoken. Like, I don't feel very reserved or that I have like a problem speaking up or saying what's on my mind. I could give a shit what other people think, to be honest. In my like day-to-day life, like I am what I am. Like what I feel on my heart, I will like let you know. I don't feel like I have trouble with that. But then as I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, but then on social media stuff, I edit, or I'm like, that's not good. Or Dr. So-and-so said that same thing last week, so I couldn't say it. I'm stealing from him, or, you know, like that kind of thing. And then I play in my head and then I don't say it, even though I fully believe, or, you know, I thought that same thing last week. And so now I can't, and I play that in my head more on the social media aspect than just my life in general.
Right. Hey, Christy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know you mentioned it before. It's like, well, I can't say that because someone else has said it.
Mhm.
Truth is truth, no matter when it comes out and from whom it comes out.
Thank you.
If you want to repeat that truth, you just do it, because, you know, as we know, it's numbers, but it's also synchronicities. When that one person hears what you say that day, you might have posted it like literally 100 times in the last year. That person sees you the first time, or just happens to, you know, have the time to scroll. Oh my God, yeah. And that one time you say it is going to matter.
Of going to school and being in a school setting, that like you have to, you know, if you're writing a paper, you have to reference who said it, like that kind of thing. I wonder if that is just what is in my head always. And so I don't
Yeah.
steal, you know, and so because I read it, then if I say it, then I have to say this person did it. I wonder if that is what my block is, or what's going, or how to appropriately do that on the internet, or, you know, without getting in trouble, even though I don't think that that's a thing. You know,
Back to actually college research. If it's going to be common knowledge, if it is common knowledge that everyone has written about, you really don't need to reference it, because you're expressing it from your own point of view.
Right. And that's what, like, I just got done reading this book and they were talking about like being outside and breathing and blah, blah, blah. Well, like everyone, you know, people know that. And so that's what my whole premise is on. And so I can push that forward. And so, yeah, that's where it plays in my head. And Erica, I want to say to you, I've been in a couple things with you, and like your program that you have, like, again, like Stephanie said, I think that it is totally you. And I don't know you, but just from what you post and what I see, like, I just think that you should just suck it up and put this program out like tomorrow. Like, you just need to do it and stop talking about it and just go. Like, you know it, it's there. Who cares? The whole messy action that everyone always talks about, like, move forward and do.
Just effing do it already.
Yeah, it's right there. You've been talking about it. I've been in other things. Like, it's there now. It's right. Go. You know?
Blow a kiss rather than give me raspberries. That means so much to me, Christy. Truly, really, it really does. I need some cheerleaders right now, and y'all are doing it for me. Thank you. Good.
Okay. Did those answers help?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, yes.
What comes to mind for me is mostly like women just, you know what you want to say, but you hold back because you don't want to offend someone, or you don't want someone to think, oh, she thinks that, or rejection, or whatever, in any kind of opinion, right? So, but then the opposite end of like how you can talk about it too, it's like, but what if you, just like you're saying, what if you said it the way you say it? The person who needs to hear it your way is going to hear it. You're going to become more impactful. You're going to reach the people you want to reach, or whatever goal it is with stepping more into your voice. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing that comes up for me, and what I see in people online. It's like, you filter it so much that you sound like everyone else. You sound like a robot, but if you just said it the way you wanted to say it, you're going to stand out more, and you're going to reach more people. But that's a whole mindset thing. That's a fear thing, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like, and the fear comes from anxiety, and it's all related. Yeah. When we filter too much, it removes the authenticity of it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. And then you become the robot. You become the automaton. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I need to figure out how many modules and units and in what order it should go in, so there's a good progression, so they can connect everything together. I know this is my first program, but honestly, I don't see myself asking for less than 500 for it.
You don't have to. It's not a rule that you have to like make your first program a very low cost thing. You charge whatever the heck you want to charge.
Absolutely. So I know that number.
You're going to, and because I know, like, and I know the women that you're friends with just based on me being in programs that you were in with Melanie and then Melanie's people and then in my programs. And I know people in your world are women who want to pay a lot of money for what they want.
Yeah.
I
So
see
then there's
it.
also the fear that because I am such a beginner, I will not be seen as, so in the realm of the people that we know, I will be seen as a beginner. It's known that I don't have any programs, or I assume they think, I
That's
assume
not
they
true.
know. And that I will be seen as, oh, she's a beginner, she's not worth blah, 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 blah. So just flipping own it.
So I just want to say this.
Yeah.
When I first met Melanie, and I know you through Melanie's stuff,
Right.
I assumed everyone in her stuff was like making millions of dollars and had programs. So I assumed the opposite of what you're assuming everyone's assuming. So people might think, oh, Erica's got this, and this. Like, you don't know that. And it
Right.
also just doesn't matter.
True.
You don't need to say, this is my first program, so it's 50% off.
Oh no, I won't do that.
You just say it's your first program. You just say, this is my program.
Right.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I graduated law school. I was only 24, I think, at the time. So I was on the younger side. I mean, only like a year or two younger than other people.
You smart.
But I've always looked younger than, I don't know how old you think I am, but I'm not that young. But a lot of people think that I'm younger than I am. And so if you think I look young now, I looked really, really young when I was 24. I probably looked like a teenager. But I adopted the belief or whatever, act as if. So I just acted as if, because like the reality is, you know, and I heard this from, I don't know if you know Suzanne Evans, like, you know more, like when the fourth grader knows more than the third grader, who knows more than the second grader. So you know more than the people that are coming to you for your help and for your guidance and for your advice. And so you are the right person to steer the ship for them or to help guide them and be the guiding post for them. And that's how I lead my clients as well. Like, they don't know the law. They don't know what it's like to be in court. Some of them like to think that they do, but you know, and again, that's why they're coming to you as a professional. And I think, and again, I hope this isn't like too off PC, but you know, you appear like you come across very well, like knowledgeable and trustworthy, and you know, you're not 15 years old. You know, I can tell that you're not 15. Again, I'm not trying to be insulting, just you know, the reality.
50 this year. Can you believe that? 50.
No.
What the hell?
So, so I think for you to say like, this is my program and it's $500, I don't think that's a big deal. And I think you should just lead with that, with your own confidence and knowing that you have all this wealth. I don't understand half the stuff on the sheet, but you obviously know all of it. And I think it's amazing. I think you just have to show people or demonstrate or show people the value that they're going to get from working with you. And that's what you sell people on. And then you get them in and then you give them what they need, right?
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
I love
really
that.
No, I do.
I love that, and I love that you shared that. And one of the I'm gonna share this, and it's fine. Is one of my biggest fears is people won't hire me because I'm young. I think the only person younger than me is Lainey. How old are you, Lainey?
23.
Yeah.
Baby.
I could be your mama.
But that's the thing though, is like, that's a fear, but I show up, I'm like, I know this. It doesn't matter how old I am. Doesn't matter how old you are. It's
Right.
the same for all of you. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Sell them what they want, give them what they need.
That's what I meant to write.
Yeah. That's what I'm like, I think
Right.
she means this. Yes.
I
Yes.
think
And that's,
don't you say like live how you want to live, in the sense like you've already made the millions or whatever. Like,
You live as if you embody that future person.
right. And I don't know if anyone watches American Idol, but I watched American Idol, and Katy Perry, like the winner of American Idol this season, at the very beginning, her first song that she sang, Katy Perry told her to sing where she wants to be. And which is the same thing, you know, and to sing where you want to be. And that has like kind of stuck with her. And so she sings to like her end desire, and then which kind of fits in. So
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, so Steph, with regards to marketing and just my image and colors and vibes, like what do you feel like, what do you get off me intuitively in terms of colors, images, symbolism, feel?
So I feel from you colorful, but not like bright, like not like neon-y. Like you're colorful. You're colorful, you're inviting. Pardon?
Where she's sitting right now, like I see yellow, the blue.
Yeah. Yellow, blues, warms, inviting. Because I know you, like your vibe is comfortable. You can come to me and be comfortable and be heard and be held and be seen, but you've got spunk to you. You've got flair. You're funny. You know what I mean? There's that combination that's really beautiful. Like you hold people and and people feel safe around you, but you're not just that. You're fun, you're funky. You're this Erica flair to you.
I'm the comfortable living room where you can sit back and hang out in the big plushy couch, but I've got some really colorful, funky pillows.
Yes. Yes.
Like fun accent. Okay, got it.
Yes. And does everyone agree? If anyone can add to that? So
Totally.
your charisma, like your smile, your face is everything. It really like the close-up pictures of you, the smile, the face, like you know what I mean? Like that's captivating, that's warm. And I think based off what you want to offer people, that's a really good vibe to give off of, because women are going to come who feel held back from speaking, and they want to feel like this is safe for me to express in here and be vulnerable. So they want to feel that comfort, and you're going to give them that. And what's going to be really amazing is you're going to give them that comfort, but you're also going to give them that confidence, and show them that like fun flair that you have, and bring that out in them, where they can feel supported, but also know it's okay to have this side of you, this expressive side of you. You know what I mean? And that's part of who you are. You're like, I'm comfortable and I'm warm and I'm calming, but I'm also this. You know what I mean? It's also showing women you can be this and this.
Right, because we are all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Beautiful.
Is that good?
It does.
That's what you wanted to hear?
I like the comfy living room with the funky pillows. I think that's me. Absolutely.
I like it too. That was such a good analogy. Yeah. So I would just take like the day or the night or tomorrow or whatever to like think of the methodology or how you want to map it out. Like take time to reflect on it. That's totally fine. And then work backwards of like, if you want women to get here, work backwards on how you're going to get them to that like quote unquote end result.
Got it.
Cool. Anything else coming up for you? If anything does, it can come up whenever.
Absolutely. I mean, we still have a call tomorrow. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
We have a call tomorrow. And then how much longer will the offer incubator in Facebook be open?
That's a great question. You guys are the only women in it now because it's closed for everyone else.
I mean, I know I need to do this now and not put it off. My energy is spiked right now. I need to run off that.
Yeah, so I'm happy to keep it open. I don't like to make things longer than they need to be, like a week after this or something. Mm-hmm. Is that good for you to like use it? And I'm happy with that. A week.
Can we post any questions or inquiries during that time?
Yeah, I'm happy to add for you guys to do that. That's fine.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. Sabra, let's go back.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah, we completely lost the internet here, and anyway, we're back up. Yeah, so I was just explaining about, where was I? The prenups, that they can pay for the first 10 hours and then it goes hourly, but they commit that it's a full 3,500 even if it only takes 4 hours. But if their marriage is within 30 days, then I charge a premium of a flat fee of 5,000, and then the real estate is very clear, like it's all based upon the purchase price. For my legal fee.
Okay. And then you said before you were finishing off and you got cut off, there was something you said, Steph, I want your opinion, perspective. What was that on?
Right. So that was on the prenup one. So like I give people the option, they can either pay me hourly. Like, again, I don't know and they don't know how long it's going to take. I know on average, you know, I could do a prenup within 7 to 10 hours. So if they want to bet that it's going to take less than that, then I say, fine, pay me $5,000 retainer. I'll charge you hourly based upon my hourly rate. I'll keep track of it, send you a bill. So I don't know if they're right or wrong, but okay. But if they want some kind of flat fee, I can do that for them. And that's why I offer them the 3,500 for 10 hours. So they're getting a little bit of a discount off my rate. And that's it. Like if it takes more than 10 hours and they know they're paying more, but if it's less, then they already know that they're all in for 3,500.
So to me, the way you have that laid out and communicated is very, very clear.
Okay.
For people to know that, you know what I mean? Like you are giving them a rough estimate of this is what it's going to be. If it's more, then this is it, and people know, and that's all they need to know. I think that that's more than fair.
Okay, so most people choose the flat fee one that they want, and then what happens, most of the time, most people are great and like they understand, like it went longer, you know, so I'm sending them a bill and then they just pay it, or they'll replenish the retainer at that time. I've had one person, I don't know, maybe he's just a crazy person, I don't know, where we went over and I told him, I said, we're going over, you know, the time frame, like you could see that things between you and your fiance, there's an issue here and we're trying to figure it out. And I brought in other experts to consult with and talk to and try to help maneuver and figure out language that we can propose. And it was taking a long time. And so I sent him my bill and it was for more than the 10 hours. I'm like, look, you need to pay the difference. He got so mad and like, what are you talking about? You know, and I'm like, well, we had this conversation 2 or 3 times. I'm really not sure what the problem is. I said, you know, and you've been engaging with me and we've had whatever. Anyway, so I went through the whole thing. At the end of the day, he's like, I'm not paying it, but you know, to finish it out, I'll pay you from here on forward. And I'm like, no, like you already got like X number of hours from me already. So you need to pay for it. Like, you know, and so he refused. So now we have like this big fight. So basically I fired him and I didn't finish the job for him because he wasn't paying. I obviously don't want to have that problem in the future. What I've decided to do in the future is that as we're approaching the end, give them the bill, say we have like 30 minutes left or an hour left or whatever it is, and be like, look, once we reach that time frame, I'm done. Like I've already delivered the obligation, and if you want to move forward, that's great. Here's what you need to do, you know. And I think that's how I'm going to handle it going forward, because I spent so much time with him and it was in the busiest month of the year for me. So I'm working on him and then he's not paying me. And then meanwhile, I have all these other clients that want my attention too, who are willing to pay me. And like, you know, some of their stuff I had to stagger or put off or whatever, because I'm trying to deal with his emergency. And then he decided not to pay me. Like, you know,
is there anything, and you would know this more than I would, like, is there a way people can sign this before they start, knowing, okay,
yeah,
he
already did.
I have to pay?
Of course, there's a contract. Of course, there's a retainer agreement, which he signed.
So you're the lawyer. What do you do then when they sign it and then they're not paying it?
Right. So we had a few conversations about, you know, how we can resolve it. I proposed a few different things. I said, you need to bring your bill current. And then I actually offered him more free time. I said, pay the bill to date. I said, then I'll give you the next 2 hours on me. I won't charge you. And because I think that we could have wrapped it up in 2 hours. And he refused to do that. So then I said, well, what are you proposing? He's proposing, well, I'm not going to pay you for any of that time, but I'll pay you for going forward. And I was like, not cool with that. So we were at a standstill. And so he went on his merry way. Which now, unfortunately, he then challenged it with the credit card company. So I'm waiting for the credit card company to get back to me. I'm hoping that they find in my favor, given that my contract is really clear, you know, that once he paid that $3,500, like that's it, like he doesn't get that back. So we'll see. I don't know. But that's just one client. I honestly, I don't have this on the regular basis. This is one person. So I kind of learned at this point. I have another business coach and she said, Sabra, like, you just should have stopped doing work. Like you should have just, this is not like it's in court. It's not a court case where there's litigation or whatever. So nobody else is involved except for me and the client. So she calls it red rubber banding. She's like, just put a red rubber band around it and be like, you're not touching that file. He owes you money. Like it's kind of like a car, you know, and I've used this expression with some clients, like, hey, you ran out of gas. Like you need to refill your tank. When you refill your tank, then we can move forward.
Yep.
you know.
And I mean, things like that happen, and it's like you said, one client, and most people don't do that. Most people follow the rules. Most people pay, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things, like you live and you learn. What are you going to do next time so this doesn't happen?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
so that I'm like fine with, but yeah, so anyway, so now that you have online offers, you're the offer queen. Like, I don't know what to do with it. I mean, obviously I'm pretty successful. I'm not, you know, making the millions that I'd like to be making, but I don't know what, you know, the thing that I'm most excited about, because most of the stuff requires my time, right? It requires me physically present. This thing with the simple divorce group system, and somebody, so the guy who did the video thing, he's like, you got to use something like a group divorce or something that's going to stop people in their tracks so that they'll watch the video. So that's why I added those words to the name, the simple divorce group system. I don't know if that's the final name, but again, everything's a work in progress. And I already got an amazing testimonial from one of the clients that I did her divorce for her, which inspired this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I can use that in a testimonial page. It's a little long, but it's a beautiful testimonial. This one I can see when I record it. I can sell it, you know, as a program, and then offer maybe like a live session, like a live Q&A, maybe once a month or every few weeks or something like that. So that, because I imagine it as like enrolling, like people will be taking it at different times.
Right.
The
I think once you do this beta test, like this beta group, you're gonna learn, okay, this worked, this didn't work, what would I change, that kind of thing, and then you're gonna have this solid basis. And what I'm seeing is this divorce, whatever you're gonna call it, like this is gonna set you apart and allow you to stand out online, because who the heck, like, we've never seen this done before. We love this idea. And then this is going to be like, you're going to be known for kind of like this idea, this thing. And then that's when people are going to know who you are. And that's where your other offers, like at the beginning, that are a little more basic, but still people need them. People are going to come to you for these things because you stand out because of this.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? From the online space perspective.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really excited about this. And like, I'm excited that I found a couple of people, you know, some people that I already shared it with, you know, who called me for a consultation.
Mm-hmm.
But some of them were like, no, I need to get divorced right now. So I'm like, okay, well, if you need divorce right now, then, you know, it costs this much, which is obviously more than these prices. And they hired me, which is not a problem.
Right.
But I've been trying to like float the idea past people. Let's see if people were interested in this lower, if price was an issue for them, and if they're willing to, I guess they're giving up a little bit of confidentiality in the sense that, you know, it's in front of other people, so it's confidential, like the same, like we're here, there's what, 5 of us, 6 of us here, you know, everything we're discussing here is in this container and it's confidential amongst all of us here, but it's not confidential as to each, you know, each of you here. So it's the same idea. So they're kind of giving up some level of confidentiality and sharing some of their personal stuff with strangers. So I get that, like, you know, I understand that, but the benefit is, A, they're getting it done. They're getting it done in 2 days. We're walking through everything, and they do have to qualify in order for this to work, because it's not going to work for everybody.
Right.
And so that's going to take a little bit of time on my part too. At some point, I'd like to create I guess a questionnaire that will help vet out some of these people, so then I'm not interviewing everybody who might be interested in this this program.
I definitely think you should do that, because it's going to take up way too much time. If you're going through a whole process, like interviewing people, like, and for nothing, right?
Like an application, right?
Application as in step 1, and then if the application's good, then you contact them, and if it's not, then it could be a simple thing like this wouldn't apply for you or something, because you want to save the time, right? It's all about saving your time. So I think that's a really, really good idea. And you could maybe create an application for this beta round, unless you happen to get 2 more couples. I think that's all you need is two more couples easily.
Yeah.
Or create an application and get people to fill it out for this, and can help with feedback on what the application looks like during this round too. Like anything now is just you deciding how you can make it better and more efficient in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm wondering if I then need to come up with a, what do you call it? Like an email, like an acceptance. Oh, congratulations, you passed this phase of the application process. Now schedule an appointment with, with our attorney to, discuss it further and see if you will qualify. And so that session will, be me further vetting whether they're appropriate, and then of course offering the price to them so that they know how much this would cost to see if it truly is a good fit. And then in I guess a denial letter for those people like, oh, you're not a good fit because, I don't know if I need to give too much of an explanation or just say you're not a good fit for this, but you may be a good fit for this. And like,
right. That's what I was going to say, is having one like, yes, you're accepted. This is the next step. Set up an appointment, and one saying this isn't a good fit. However, and then giving the option of how you can help them. Maybe it's not the group. Maybe it's like just a one-on-one kind of thing.
Well, I'm kind of thinking that if there are couples interested in this group program, they may be a perfect fit for my harmonious divorce system, which is the mediation and then the drafting. Because if they're willing to do this together, it may just be that some of their issues are just way too complicated for me to address in a group setting. As you can imagine, some divorces are way more complicated than others, but there's a lot that's so simple and easy. So there's no reason for them to spend, $10,000 or more to get divorced. Like, it's just, which is why this all came about. Like, I get it. Like, those forms are complicated. For me, they're easy because I deal with them all the time. But for people who only have to do this once in a lifetime, it's easy for me to walk them through it and just get it done. Like, don't let it sit in your kitchen table.
And it's easier on your part too, like, bundle these people that are super easy together in one, boom, 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 done, right? And let the harder ones be the harder ones, and the more expensive ones over here, right? So it all makes sense. So that's something that you can use when you're talking about it, is like quick and easy divorce. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be complicated. It's just like, get it done, and you don't want to spend, all this money because it's simple. It's not going to be this drawn out process. Right. And that's who it's for.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you were focusing on that. Now, so what are you suggesting? I don't know I'm here for your wisdom, Stephanie. So
what I'm thinking, because the online space is newer for you, and direct me if you want me to go in a certain direction, but I think that in the online space, like, when you have this divorce system out there, like this group thing, you're going to be known for it. People are going to you're going to brand it. You're going to make it your thing. It's going to go. You're going to have the beta test. After you have that, you're going to say that you did it. You're going to put it out to the public. Then you're going to have a flow to it. Then from there, I would have, obviously you have a website or somewhere listed where you have all these other options for people to go to. So you're going to be known, like, the thing that's going to set you apart is this group thing.
Okay.
And then you're going to have these other options of things that are like more general or more basic. More personal, right? These other options. So from my point of view, I see this group thing being an incredible group idea. You're going to stand out because of it. It's going to be a great thing that a lot of people go in, but if people find you because of that,
right,
but it's not a fit for them, they're still going to like you and vibe with you and may relate to your other offers and hire you based off your other offers.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think right now, and that's what you're doing, I love that you're making this video and all these things, is like, make this your thing, like your focus right now. And then as you like build your following online and all these things, people are going to know you and then see all your other services.
Okay.
Right? Does that make sense? So it's like you're gaining clients in this group program, but you're also gaining, oh, who is she? She's doing this. Like, this is different. Okay, cool. She's someone I relate to. She's someone I'm going to go to for XYZ, these other personalized things.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And I know, like, you've got what the group looks like for the beta, and I know that after you do it, you're going to have your own tweaks if need be, for when you like full on launch it out. Like, that's going to help a lot. And even I love this application process is going to make it so much simpler for you. Mm-hmm. We want like simple, like yes, no, in, out, like get it moving, done, on to the next.
But I also think it gives to me it gives an impression of professionalism, like,
Yes. Yeah.
you know, and that, wow, she's got a whole system here. Like, I feel held by her. I feel,
Yeah.
you know, that she's got me, you know,
Yeah,
and that's what I
absolutely.
get from people. People, they're scared. They're so nervous. They're like, Sabra, I don't know. And, you know, I'm like, I got you. Like, I've been through this. I got you. You know, I'm going to walk you through step by step. Like, trust me, let's just start with step 1, then we'll get to step 2, you know, and, I don't know. That's just how I am.
And I
No,
can
it's
feel that.
wonderful because I've been through a divorce and I've had to go through, you know, I'm using an elder care attorney for my mother's estate. And even though we may be intelligent people, when we come to you, it's like we're kids. It's like, just flip and tell me what to do, or I'm giving you the money, do the thing for me. We don't want to have to think because it's already hard enough emotionally as it is. So it's so awesome that you get the empathetic part of it, that we're kind of like lost lambs. It's hard.
Absolutely. It's hard, it's scary. It's all of that. But everyone fits into different things. I would love for everyone to be able to do the beta divorce, or at least do the harmonious, the mediated divorce. I feel like that's just better for everybody all around, including the kids and everyone's well-being and their health and anxiety, you know, just everything that Eric was talking about. So, anyway, yeah, it would, anyway, yeah, I have a lot of thoughts going through my head. I'm like, oh, well, you know, Christy, is that your name? Like, Christy could be helpful because she's
I was
got
going
the
to say
help.
that we can send them to my divorce camp.
And then Erica can be helpful because she's going to deal with the whole mindset thing that's going on over there, because I'm not trained in that area and I can't really, and I'm constantly reminding them, I'm like, you're talking to me like I'm your therapist, and I'm like, I can't help you with therapy stuff. Like, that stuff, I'm like, I hear you, I can empathize with you, but you know, you're paying me a lot of money to therapy, whatever the word is, you, and I'm not even trained to do that. So, but yeah, okay. So I like that idea. So use the beta program as like the, whatever, the sticky stuff that gets people to notice me. And then if they don't qualify for that, let them know I have other ways that they can work with me, and they can self-diagnose, you know, what may be appropriate for them, and then we can have a conversation.
Exactly. Or if they come to you and you see they're not a fit, you can also say you're a fit for this. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Or however they find you and your things, they're like, okay, that's really cool, but that doesn't apply to me, but I see all her other offers or services. I want to work with her. She's the one. What do I need? And then they reach out to you. It's like the same. I know it's different than coaching, right? But it's really the same concept, as in like, oh, here's her main offer. That's really cool. But wait, I don't think that's for me. What else do you have? Right? So it's like you stand out for this one thing. I love this, but wait, that doesn't fit. What else do you have? So it's to me, it's the same thing as like a personal brand, a personal whatever, you're known for it. And that's why people are attracted, or it catches their attention. And then you've caught them in, and now you're their go-to for whatever they need.
Absolutely. So yeah, no, that sounds exciting and that's great. So you're saying, I don't know, what else should I be? So the divorce line, I'm like clear on, and yes, it's very different service than the prenup and the real estate. Like, is there anything that I can do there to tie it together? Because the prenup and divorce, I think, is obvious to people how they're connected. Real estate, some people get it like right away, and other people like, what do you mean when you do real estate too? And to me, I think it's a very big benefit to people who do have real estate when they're getting divorced or getting married, because I know real estate so well in terms of residential purchases and sales. I'm able to bring a lot to the table, because, you know, people like assume, oh, we could do this and we could do that. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't exactly work that way. So I'm able to bring that to the table and help them really brainstorm, you know, what can you do with this property? What's realistic? You know, what's not going to break the law or put you in danger with your mortgage company, you know, so that you don't owe the $500,000 mortgage that you just signed, you know, tomorrow. So,
So as an expert, is there a way that you could do something with that to make it more efficient for people, or more clear for people, and it makes sense on your end and the client's end with real estate?
So when I'm talking, so when people come to me originally, right, and I do an initial consultation, they want to share. Like there's a lot of information they want to give me. So one of the things I do ask them about is whether they own any kind of real estate. And then I later on in the conversation where it's appropriate in the sales conversation, I'll use that like as a seed to see, again, it gives me more value that they're getting from working with me versus another attorney, because not all matrimonial attorneys have experience doing real estate the way that I do. And so that's a big selling point for people, like, oh, she's got me there too, and so that often becomes a big selling point for people who decide to hire me.
Okay.
Hey, Sabra, do you have a network of realtors that you work with so you can refer to them and they can refer to you back and forth?
Absolutely.
Cool. So do you handle the closings, or you just handle like the legal side of it and then another closing company does the closing?
So in New York, it's the attorneys who do it all. Like we do the
Oh, wow.
contract.
Okay. I did not know that.
We do all the way through the closing. I know in other parts of the country that they have like, I don't know how it's done, but the real estate brokers, I think, are doing the contract. In New York, you can't do that. That's an unlawful practice of law. So only attorneys can draft contracts. And yeah, and then I'm doing the closing as well.
Yeah, I totally feel that if you clear, not just dropping a seed, but making it a large part of when you introduce yourself to people, to let them know that this is available to them. So it's one less contact they have to make. It's one less step. If they're getting anxious about like, oh God, now I got to call a freaking attorney about blah, 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 blah.
Right.
You've taken it off their plate. That's a massive service. You've saved them time and anxiety. Boom, done.
Yeah, it's like one-stop shopping in a sense.
Yeah. Oh, Matt, and that's the worst time of your life that you want to be worrying about things. So I wouldn't be shy at all about offering that.
Another program for divorce that encompasses those, like the stuff that you would need for if you had a house? Like if I were divorced and renting would be different than if I was divorced and owned a home, correct? And so maybe there's a different program that kind of like advertises that real estate piece differently.
So I can certainly add that piece in terms of the advertising and promoting so people are clear, but the beta programs, I only divided it up between if you have assets and no children, and assets and children. Assets, to me, it doesn't matter what kind of assets you have. It could be a house mortgage, it could be that you're renting. Either way, these are issues where people live, has to be addressed, and we have to talk about it. In addition to money, in addition to debt, credit cards, loans. I mean, we cover everything. You can't, because if you leave something unturned, then it's an open, that there's still some pieces that have been unresolved in your divorce. And then unfortunately they won't like the answer when I tell them how that gets resolved, because that happened in my divorce where my lawyer forgot. I told them all about it a million times, but he forgot that there was this one asset. And at the end of the day, I wound up just, my husband got it. I mean, it wasn't a ton of money at the end of the day, but it was still like, it was my money and I should have gotten it back. It just wasn't worth the cost and expense to reopen the divorce and resolve that issue. So, yeah, so I do my best to try to uncover, we turn over every rock, every pebble and make sure everything is addressed in their divorce, and that's it. They don't have to worry about it anymore.
I think
as you as their attorney is so lucky.
Oh, thank you.
I was going to say the biggest piece is what Erica said, is really make it known that you have this. So it's like one-stop shop. It's less, it's a less worry, less anxiety, another piece that can be taken care of right with you. Okay. So don't hide it. Don't let it sit under the bridge. Like really make it known, like you've got this part as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So we will, we have all tomorrow too, and I just want to say in terms of branding and marketing stuff, I think we'll focus on tomorrow, which I know you want to talk about as well, we'll talk about with everyone, but because I know you had that question, but we have all tomorrow to focus on that stuff too, which I know will be really helpful for you, of how to present this online, how to talk about it online, how to share it, and that kind of stuff.
So the only other question that I have, I guess, with regard to these offers, so again, it's still, all of this stuff that I just showed you is all just people coming to me for a particular service. it gets delivered, and then they're gone. So there's no like ongoing, there's no like what's next for them. And at the moment, like I'm a solo, so I don't have staff. I want staff. Before all the pandemic started, I was interviewing and looking for people to help, to support staff, because I am going to need it. And I have a feeling like it's already starting to blow up a little bit. The courts are beginning to open up, and so people are like, all right, I'm really done with my spouse, like get me out of this shit. So so I already see it starting to build up, and so I'm going to need support staff to delegate things to, because I can't handle it all on my own. But that being said, it would be great if there was a program or some way that I can, where it's not just like, and this came from out of my own divorce. I remember looking at my lawyer, but like, okay, the divorce is over, now what? Okay, like this whole thing like consumed so much of my life and my brain for all this time, and now that was lifted off my shoulders, and so now I have this whole like empty blank slate in front of me. What do I do with it? And so that's why I started the meetup group that I told you about, where it's for empowerment after a breakup or divorce. And so I've been bringing in different experts to talk about different things. Like we had a wardrobe specialist to help you recreate who you are, your identity and whatnot. There's another woman who, from We to Me, where she deals with your home. Like if you're still living in the home that you lived in with your spouse, well, how do you make it your own? Like how do you remove those bad memories and things like that? And so she'll help people with that regard. Or I remember going to the beauty parlor, after my divorce. That was the first time I had my hair colored, and I felt like a whole brand new woman with the new fancy sunglasses and my hair done. So it's
For
like
real.
things like
I know.
that.
So what's coming up to mind is almost like a membership community. Is because women might be like, okay, yeah, now what? I need support, but everyone's length of support is going to be different, right? How long they want it, how long they need it. So if you create something like, okay, now what? Here's an option. You can join this for X amount for a month or whatever, and you get these support systems, these resources, whatever you want to put in there, and they always get the option to commit to more time, because every woman is gonna want more time and need more time. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Almost what you're already doing, but charge for it.
Yes, and I think that was brought up in one of the
Zooms. And I'm not charging for it right now. And it does take time. It takes time and effort to source out these professionals, bring them in. And I do actually have arrangements with some of them that if the people from my group buy their program, they, pay me something or give me a coupon or whatever. So I'm getting like paid a little bit in the back end a little bit, but having a membership group, that would be amazing. And I think now that we're all getting used to the Zoom stuff, it might be helpful, almost like a support group, like a check-in, a monthly check-in where they can check in every month and like say, hey, how's it going for you? What's going on for you? And then that'll also spur more ideas for me, for more speakers for them.
Yeah. And I think it's really just doing what you're already doing, adding a little bit to it, like this support group thing, whatever. And then you just say, like, this is now turning into a paid membership because of whatever. Like, this is work, and I'm bringing in experts. You don't even need to explain, just saying it now has a fee. It now is a membership.
Are there women and men, or do you offer it just to women? Or
No, it's mixed.
So what happens if I came to you and got divorced, and then you offer it to my husband as well? And so now we're in the same group together? How does that work? I'm just curious.
I don't know, actually.
Well, could have been a lesbian couple.
I haven't told any of my clients about it. Right now, the people that are in that meetup group, random people right now, not that I'm aware of, none of them are my clients.
Oh.
The people, but, being available when I do like a monthly check-in, I do make myself available. If people have questions, I'll answer generally. Obviously, I don't know enough about their fact pattern to give them real advice, but they do value that I'm a lawyer and I can give them some kind of insight, let them know that they're on track, that their lawyer is doing the right thing, or maybe there's another thing they can explore with their attorney or things of that nature. So.
And if you wanted to create it something separate than what you already have, it could be just for women. You know what I mean? It depending what you want to do. You know what I mean? To completely separate it.
And that's what I was going to say. Like you
Yeah.
talked about having like a team eventually. If you had a male counterpart that did this stuff too, you could offer the same like stuff. But if I were a male, I could go to the male. If I were a female, I could go to you. So you guys are like working together. But again, like if I come to you to divorce my spouse and then you offer this thing and we both want it, I think that would be, personally, I think that would be awkward if we were both in the same
separating the two.
Yeah, but we both might need and want it and be like, okay, and so this could be for male versus female or something along.
Well, either that, and actually I'm thinking more because about recently I was just consulted by and she hired me a same-sex couple. So that kind of won't work.
Right, I was thinking that too. I was thinking the same thing, how
so I might just have to perhaps offer like an A group and a B group, you know, like a Tuesday night or a Thursday night group, you know what I mean? And then people can pick and choose which group they want to be a part of. And then I don't have to worry about what sex they are.
Totally, yeah. Because I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I don't know how I would do like same-sex couples and, you know, like the whole male versus female and that kind of thing. But I just was trying to think of myself. I wouldn't want to be in the same group as my spouse after I divorced them.
I get it. It's a great point. So I might just have to do like 2 groups, you know, whatever, pick a couple of nights or days or something like that. And
I like the idea though. I think that as a divorced person, like that would have been something great to do. And again, that's like my like divorce camp that came in my head because it didn't mean for it to be, but like my brother and my friend, just the chats and the stuff that we were talking about, and they were divorced a little bit separately from time from each other, and so just like sharing those stories together, like, oh, I did this, or this is what helped me, and so I can see that happy. I like
and then we can add a retreat with
totally,
leading the way. I think that would be really awesome. And maybe we can wind up creating like our own little dating company too. Right?
There you go. Let's go.
There's so many connections. So many things are happening here. It's going to be a whole team of people. I love it.
You don't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Delaney.
I'm wondering if you could like widen your audience by also including like people who were in long-term dating relationships, because I know like when there was my long-term relationship ended, I was like lost and I felt like there was no one else around.
Yeah, that's great because my meetup group is actually called Empowerment After Breakup or Divorce. So for that very purpose. So yes.
Love that.
Yes, Sabra, so you don't have a paralegal or an admin?
Not right now. I have had paralegals, you know, over the years, but you know, some of them worked out for like 3 years, and then they had to move on to other things, and other people just didn't work out.
Right, it happens.
But I think a lot of people are unemployed now, so I should be able to find someone who's of quality. Because if I don't know, if another law firm let go like one of their top performers, I would love to hire them. So
put it out there to the world.
Yeah, I do. I need to.
He or she are out there, you know.
Amazing. Okay, anything else today, right now, coming up for you?
I feel like what I'm getting is that I have like a clear thing with regard to the divorce. I think what I've been doing with the prenups and real estate is I can probably just continue what I'm doing and just promote it more often and come up with, maybe we'll discuss this tomorrow, like a branding and marketing plan for that stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's my only question. So tomorrow, like, will you let us know at the end of the session today what we should be thinking about or bringing to the table tomorrow for our conversation then?
Yeah, so tomorrow, because we're getting through, well, I want to give you guys what you want as well, but my vision is bang out these offers, and this is taking the full 3 hours, which is totally fine. If needed, and again, if not, if it's less important, but I think we can do both tomorrow, is for some of you it might apply, for some of you it might not, is like a launch of like when you're selling, when you're doing it, then for the next thing, what does that look like in between? I think some of you in here might need it, might not. And branding. So how to talk about your offer, what that can look like. I would love to cover that with you guys too. So then what you can do to prepare for that tomorrow is just think of think of what you currently do, bring examples or post in the group of what you currently do or pictures you currently use, things like that, stuff you already have for your branding. And then I can give feedback on it. Or if you have zero idea of what to do and how to promote your thing, we will cover that tomorrow. So branding, social media, talking about the offer tomorrow. And then for those who want it, need it, time frame to sell something, and then when you're coaching the thing that you're doing, what to do during that time to lead into your next offer for those who apply, who have multiple offers. Like Christy, you might be selling one thing, then okay, you're coaching one thing, what do I do then for the next thing, like to map out the time frame of offers. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay,
Thank you.
so we've got Lainey.
Yes.
Did you post in the group? Yes, you did. Okay.
Like 2 minutes before.
I know. I'm like, what's going on? Okay, so let me. Oh, Zoom likes to be all over the place. Okay, why don't you go ahead and what's the good one to start off with?
The last one, so like the circle one.
The last one? Okay.
It goes backwards for some reason.
Okay. So just go ahead and explain what you've got going and we'll go from there.
Okay. So I already did my healthy habits. And then now I'm leading into doing it's actually fueling your booty. And I'm just going to combine those two. And then my next one is doing the macros and then like diving deep into the macros. And then I guess I'll talk about that later. And then ditching the diet mindset and diet culture.
Amazing. So you've got, this is a really good combination and flow of different levels of offers and different offers in general, like healthy habits, building the booty, like very specific macros, and then ditching a diet and mindset, and one-on-one coaching. Okay, cool. And then and this was just like goal, outcome. Okay. So are you finished the first one? You finished the quarantine healthy habits one, or is that still running?
I finished it yesterday.
Okay. So that was your first ever program, right? Okay. So yay to that. Amazing. Having ran that first program, what did you love? And what would you say, that didn't work so well?
I really loved doing the lives and then interacting. The thing that I didn't overly enjoy, and I don't know if it's just like this will build over time, is when like nobody showed up. And so like it was kind of hard to interact with yourself.
Yeah.
And then I guess there was like points where I like tried to interact and like doing check-ins and then no one replied. So I was just like, I know we talked about in the mastermind that it's not me, but like just remembering and putting that into action.
Yeah. And there's people who are agreeing. Like the thing is, so how many people did you have in this?
7.
7 people. And you scheduled lives for certain times and certain days, right? 7 people is a great amount of people to have in your first program, but also it's small in comparison to everyone has a life beyond the program. So for them to make it at that specific time that you're live might just not have made sense for people's schedule. So that's usually what it comes down to. Like when people are in a program, they want to be on it live. And if they can't, it's usually because there's something else happening in their life that they're just like, I can't be live. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's just something to think about. When you're running a program, like that's your life. You're like, everyone should be on. I scheduled this. Like, why aren't you here? But it could be like they were in school or they had to work, or you know what I mean? So the feeling of like no one's showing up and you're talking to no one, it sucks. But it means nothing about you. Did you get feedback or testimonials or anything from the ladies in the group?
I haven't asked yet, but I had a girl post, like she reposted my post that I did yesterday saying that it was inspiring, and I think you saw it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So remember too, and I think I brought this up earlier with the accountability thing with Christy, is like people show up in groups different. You know, there are people who are love it and they're silent. There are people who watch the replay and you don't know they watch the replay, but they love it. And it will build with time as your groups grow, and think of this as well. This might have been the first program some of these people have ever taken. So they don't even know how to participate in a group. They might be shy. They might be like, I don't want to go on the live. You know what I mean? So just think of it from their perspective too. It means nothing about the quality of your training or the program.
So on the you can't see if they watch the replay?
Unless they comment, you can't tell.
Okay. Well, because I was looking, because the one girl, it said like seen this video, and then I looked at it, and one of the girls hadn't seen any of them except the welcome call. So I was like, did she just not watch them, or?
So the way Facebook works, I don't know. Like if someone has to click on it and then it'll say so-and-so saw it, but did they watch it all? Or did someone not click on it, but they watched it? Then Facebook's not going to say saw this video. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't judge it off of that. So that's why I always say, even if I've got a lot of people on, I say interact. If you're watching on the replay, let me know that you're catching the replay. Like just say replay. You know what I mean? Even if I'm watching something that was live and it's a replay, I'm less likely to engage as if I was live, because I know the person talking is not going to respond back to me, right? But at least say, oh, replay, like I'm here, I just wasn't live. So also always reinforce that, so then you know, okay, they're watching, like that's always good. But at the end of the day, like your responsibility is to deliver what you said you're going to deliver, not to babysit.
Mm-hmm.
It's their responsibility to show up for the stuff. Right? So don't make it mean anything about you. Of course, you set the tone, you set the vibe of a group. Like, I want you to show up. Let's make it interactive, all these things. But at the end of the day, you can't control how people show up.
It's so hard to get out of your own head. Like I feel the same exact way, but then just as a person that buys programs, like I just watched Stephanie's, the
Confidence to Cash.
Yeah, the codes. And I watched it yesterday throughout 2 or 3 different times. I don't think I even commented on anything because I was like listening and cleaning and listening and doing this. And I listened to all of it and I like screenshot the thing. I saved it. I thought about different stuff, but she doesn't even know that I watched it. Like I did it.
But here's the thing. You will get to a point where when you're done something, you're checked out. I'm not going to bed tonight worrying, did Christy watch that video? I'm checked out. But 2 years ago, I would have been like, oh my God, half the people didn't show up. They hate my program. They're going to ask for a refund. My business failed. Like that used to be where my head would go. But now it's like, we just can't, we just need to know it's not about that. It's not about that. It's just not. And I know that, and now I have evidence. There's people like Christy who are all in, taking all the notes, whatever. It just, I don't see it, but it's fine. You know what I mean? So it's just, but we have to let that go or it's going to consume our business and then it's not going to be fun.
Yeah. When you're the deliverer, it's hard. As I feel you, like when our journey, the second round, well, even the first round, we had 11 people and like 2 or 3 would show up to the live pieces and that's it. And then I was like, really, people, you're paying for this, like come here. But yeah, so, but I try to think like as me as a person, I don't always have time, even if I think I'm gonna do it. I was totally ready to do it, but it just didn't pan out. So
yep. So don't let that get to you.
Okay.
So now you are stepping into, have you already started selling the booty one?
Well, I did it for like the Healthy Habits girls last week, and then I did it on my master class call, and then I haven't done it since.
So when you say you did it, as in you talked about that it's the next program coming?
Yeah.
Okay. And so when you mentioned it to the people from Healthy Habits in the end of the masterclass, was there any response from that?
No.
No. Okay. So that's okay. I'm just asking. So you've never been through Confidence to Cash, and that's fine. But you're gonna learn a whole launch strategy, and I can go into it a little bit here, but no one's gonna buy. Again, this is very generalized because this isn't necessarily true, but when you first launch something, you want to have like hype and branding and a big announcement around it. So people really know, like, this is a thing I've got coming. In the online space, there's a lot of, especially, like, there's a lot of all of us, but it's a lot of fitness. There's a lot of people saying, I've got a fitness program. So I could go on and click on anyone who has a fitness picture, and they're probably saying they've got a fitness program. So why would I trust someone when everyone's doing it? So to build that trust that's when you bring in like the branding and the marketing and the big announcement and like professionalism and like all this kind of stuff, which you're really going to start to learn. You guys on here, Lainey started her business 2 months ago.
Wow. Amazing.
So, and she had 7 people in her first program. Okay. And I have to have this conversation with her multiple times to let her know that it's been 2 months and it's going to be okay.
Lainey, you're doing great. 7 people in your first program, 2 months.
Like,
amazing.
That's awesome.
Just saying, okay? I want to remind you of this because most people, it's like crickets for a year. And you're like 2 months, boom. Like, so it's going to be okay, right? So you're learning as you go, but and you're doing amazing. But creating some structure into launching your next offer is what we can do. Before I get ahead of myself, do you have questions about the offers that you've created? Like the inside of the offers?
Like what I'm delivering?
Yeah, like what you're delivering. And like it looks really good from what you posted. They look very clear. They look like very different enough from each other that it makes sense why someone would take this than this. They're all different pieces to the puzzle. But I just want to make sure before I go off and talk about like launching, if you have questions about offers, like in them.
I don't think so. I think I just like Confidence to Cash will help with this, but it only being my second program and not being fully certified like with my diploma yet to get like do workouts and stuff, like that part.
No one is going to ask you for your diploma.
Yeah.
I guarantee you. So is that a fear of like, you don't have your diploma, so why could I sell a fitness program?
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going to buy fitness from someone who I trust.
Mm-hmm.
And someone can have a piece of paper and be a shitty coach. And you can have all this experience and be an incredible, incredible coach. And you're going to take them through an incredible transformation. And this is where the licensing and all the things, it comes down to the different state and where you're at. She's in Canada. You're in Alberta.
Yeah.
So, and I don't, whenever you ask me that, I'm like, it depends on where you are, but it also depends in the online space. You're taking clients from everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I don't even know if it depends from where, I don't know if Sabra, you know this, like, is it where the coach is delivering it from? Is it where the client's from? You know what I mean? Like the like contracts or regulations?
I don't know. I mean, I know
scope. Yeah.
Lawyers can only practice, in the jurisdiction where they're licensed to practice law.
Yeah.
Like hairstylists can only practice,
Right.
wherever they got that license from the state, things like that. So I don't know if there's licensing requirements for the work that you're offering. Obviously you should get familiar with that if there are, but if there's no licensing requirements, then go for it.
Mm-hmm.
In my experience, I don't know of anyone like with licensing requirements for the online space and what people are delivering. Because to me, it gets so messy. Like if someone you're coaching people from all over the world. So that would get really complicated if there were. And there's a lot of people who coach and have clients from internationally all over the world, and it's fine. So don't get, I wouldn't get too caught up with that. I mean, what I would do is, and again, this comes back to, it has to be specific. Like what if you want to be covered, like if you want to be covered if someone gets hurt, right? Like having a contract made up and having them sign something so you're not liable, like something like that. If you want to be covered, then do something like that, then 100%. I would do that.
I think I'm at where, since I don't have my degree or like my diploma, that I'm not, like, my knowledge isn't as valuable. And that, like,
So
confidence.
your ideal client is not looking for someone who has all the knowledge. They're looking for someone who wants to firm their butt. I'm just going to be real with you.
Yeah.
So like they're honest, and you're in university getting your phys ed.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are people who are coaching who have zero qualifications. There are people right now who are coaching fitness who have zero qualifications, or who have, you're in Canada, CanFit Pro, and CanFit Pro is a shit qualification. I have taken it. So like there are people who have very much less than what you have.
Mm-hmm.
But it comes down to experience. You've done it, you know how to design programs, and it comes down to people trusting you. Like I like seeing your stuff and saying, oh, I like how she talks about it. I like that she has this program. I want to learn from her instead of someone else. That's really what it comes down to. It doesn't come down to like how much knowledge you have or how many years of schooling you have, honestly, in this specific situation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it was to get divorced or to something like that, then yes, it does matter. But like for this, you know enough and you're in the schooling for it that I really, you don't need to worry. You don't need to worry.
It's like what popped out to me just now was, it's less about the how and it's more about the result. Yeah.
Because you don't need to explain to people, this is how you're going to do it. You're just going to tell people, this is what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
People don't sign up for a fitness program. They don't care. They're not going to say, what are the exercises I'm going to be doing? Are you going to send them the list of every exercise for your 3-month program or whatever? No, they just want to know, what's the result?
Mm-hmm.
What is it like? Is it at home workouts or the gym? Okay, cool. Great. Sign me up.
And related to that, on that same note, if people want to eat the meal, they don't want to watch you cook the damn thing.
Yeah.
And especially when you're making your offer, do not bog them down the details and the minutia of every single thing you're going to do, because that will turn them off. People have a attention span that's like this long these days. They just want to feel immediately, what's this girl going to do for me? That's all they need. Am I wrong, Steph, or am I kind of on the money there?
No, that's completely right. That's completely right. And I love what Sabra was saying, get incorporated, if get incorporated. So then if someone is suing you, they're not suing you, they're suing the company. Mm-hmm. And then on the issue of coaching, I do not believe that you need to have a license to coach others. I think it just gives you this feeling of comfort to know you're licensed or completed the program. Yeah, that's in your head. Has anyone asked you about your experience and degrees? Right, the bottom line is, can you deliver the results and the information? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I completely agree. Like, I coached fitness. No one had ever asked me, can I see your qualifications? Can I see this? No one has ever asked that. It's just a fear that I think we make up, and you're going to be fine. But for protecting yourself, you could look into getting incorporated. I mean, I only got incorporated this year. I was an LLC up until this year, and then I got incorporated this year. But that's a personal choice.
If she's just for peace of mind, I think you are a health coach, right? Like, I just looked at your page. So, and it looks like your next program is like fueling your booty, which you're going to give workouts, but I would imagine you're going to still talk about food or something along those lines, correct? So like, just so that you could feel better about it, like that you have the qualifications, you're talking about nutrition, and you're just telling the movement that anyone can go Google,
Yeah.
you know, it up, and you're just like guiding that with this like nutrition piece in mind. And these are the movements that you know are true and work and have worked for you or whatever, but you're bleeding it in with your nutrition background that you have. And so
Mm-hmm.
make you feel better. Because I understand like feeling like you need that piece of paper or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. It's a huge peace of mind thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge peace of mind thing. Okay. So what questions, what gray areas do you have about your offers, if any?
I think now, so that like the mindset piece is also like going into the pricing, because it's my second program.
Okay.
So
how much are you charging for this booty program?
I said 333 for early bird, and then I said 555 for but I just like, it feels right, and I feels like that's what it should be, but then my human brain is saying, Blaney, that's too high. Like,
what's the fear?
Well, I feel like I compare it to like the programs that I've done, and like coaches that gave so much more charged around 300, and it wasn't like, it was so much more than this program is like it was a mastermind type of program versus like just education, I guess.
So, I mean, what are you giving in this program? You're giving information, you're giving trainings, you're giving workouts, you're giving how to fuel nutrition. You're giving a lot. And I think to compare one program to another, it's so different in the sense that it's hard to like say, well, this was this price and this is this price, when it's two different programs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There's that, and there's also is you can charge whatever you want to charge without having to justify it. Like, you don't, I think that something that we really need to remember is like, a price is what you decide. A price is not an hourly rate. A price is not your worth. A price is not how many PDFs you're giving. A price is not the length of a live stream. A price is what you decide for it to be.
Mm-hmm.
The other coaches might have been undercharging as well. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, and so the thing too is you have to stay in your own lane, especially with fitness. There's people online who have like 1 million followers who could sell something for $30 and make $30 million because they have so many followers. You know what I mean? But if you're giving something quality and close touch with these people, I would charge a higher price point, like, because they're getting close connection with you. They're getting, it's like, it's a close group. Yeah. But I get the fear of the pricing, because this was me at the beginning. I started off charging $200, $300 for my fitness program. Then it evolved into $1,000 for a 3-month thing. But the thing is, at the beginning, that's the price I could get behind. But then I started to feel resentment after like a month later being in this program, and I'm like, oh my God, these people they only paid like this much. Like, I started to resent how little people were paying me and how much work I was giving into it. But again, that's something that like I needed to go through that to be able to feel better charging more. And that's just part of the journey, right? Can you bundle any of these together so they can purchase individually or as a bundle? Yeah, as a bundle of 2, 3, 4, 5. I forgot how many modules there are. Yeah, I like that idea. And let people choose that they buy one for 300 and they get 2 for 5, etc.
Yeah, I like that idea.
That's a good idea too. Yeah.
So like, I know this kind of will be a bit like a topic for tomorrow, but if you're selling them as a bundle, do you say like, oh, this is my program now, but if you chose to do 2 programs, my next program is going to be like Macros 2.0. You can register to buy both for a cheaper price than like individually.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say this is the next program coming to let you know the next one is this. If you know you want to be in both, here's a bundle option, and then you would like discount it somehow. So for example, someone joined this session of Confidence to Cash and wanted the next session of the offer Incubator. They wanted it together. So I was like, okay, well, you'll get pre-sale pricing of offer Incubator. And since you're buying it all together, full price, I gave her the Confidence to Cash. It was the day that it started. She wanted it, so it would have been full price. I gave it to her for early bird. So it took off a couple $100. I was more than happy. You know what I mean? She paid in full. She got both. Boom. You know what I mean? So you just take it off a little bit so they're seeing the benefit, but you're not like discounting yourself.
Mm. Yeah.
Just in a way that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you can offer it again towards the end of the first program. Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes bundling things is good as long as it's clear. Like I could literally be like, hey, I'm bundling all my stuff for the year. You know what I mean? But to some people, like, it's too much to think about. It's too many things. It's too many pieces. Like, they're not thinking fall or winter or later. They're thinking now. So for some people, it makes sense to bundle, okay, this thing and the next thing. Like when people are thinking, okay, it's May, June, they're thinking short term. They might not be thinking, oh, what program do I want in September, October, November? You know what I mean? So bundle the things that are close and that make sense. And it's just very clear for people. And also the benefit is clear. Like, so saying I bundled these 2 things because they complement each other, like in terms of their benefits. And then also it makes sense to buy the bundle because you're saving $300 or whatever it is, and people are like, yes, right? Don't overcomplicate it. It can get complicated if we try and bundle all these things, and then people are just confused of what to buy. Yeah. Sometimes what happens is people see, you've got multiple offers. What do you suggest for me? So then maybe you create a bundle and it's really just a specific bundle for a person and no one knows about it, right? It's because they know you've got all these offers and they want you to create something for them. Again, it's like, be innovative. Be innovative with bundles and packages. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What else is coming up? I think you just got to own this pricing thing.
Yeah.
And own that you've got this program thing.
Yeah.
What? I feel like there's something you want to say.
No, I don't think so. Like, I feel pretty clear on what where I want to go. It's just scary.
I feel ya. Is anyone else scared? I'm scared. We're all scared. But we're going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here's the thing. It is scary to put stuff out there. Like I was saying before, it is. It's scary. But what's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst thing that can happen?
Like, it just flops. And really, that's not bad. And
no one signs up. You still got a roof over your head. You're still healthy. You've still got a business. You're still okay.
Mm-hmm.
The worst thing that happens is no one signs up and you do it again and someone signs up. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This, oh my God, I don't know if I'm the person to do it, but someone needs to do it, is like some kind of thing for entrepreneurs to like teach you that it's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we make this so personal. We do. We get caught up. Like, we make it mean something that it doesn't need to mean. Mm-hmm. If you're working a regular 9 to 5, you would leave that job and forget about it, right? But when it's our own work, we take it home because we care about it differently. It feels different, and it's okay. But we have to remember, like, we're gonna be okay. It's all gonna be okay. Like, you're an expert in coaching what you coach and teach what you teach, you're not an expert in selling. You're not supposed to be. You're an expert in fitness coaching. You're an expert in mindset coaching. You're an expert in whatever. You're not meant to be an expert in finances, in selling, in marketing, in branding, in graphics, like, right? You're not meant to wear all the hats. And that's why the support is good and outsourcing is good and all these things. So take some pressure off too, to know like you're not meant to be an expert in all the things. Get support where you need support.
That reminded me, I had an idea when Christy was talking about doing a retreat as well. Ooh. But I don't know if that's too soon.
Okay.
I'm just starting.
So,
I think that all relates.
So this is you're basically going through what I went through. And when I had my first retreat, Melanie told me, or when I said, I want to do a retreat, and she said, great, let's do it this year. And I was like, no, I'm not at the level yet. The very next day I launched my retreat and I had a retreat. But I convinced myself I wasn't at the level. You can literally do whatever you want to do. There's no right time. Because what are you waiting for? When you get to the point you're waiting for, you're going to say, I don't think I'm ready yet.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. So if it feels right, do it. And if anything new is going to be scary, any new program, any new retreat, any new whatever, it's going to be like, oh my God, what am I doing? But if it's in your vision, do it. And you'll be happy that you did it sooner because you learn. You learn from what you did the first time, and then the next time you do it, you're like, how can I make it better? Never the right time. Yeah, learn that one now.
Yeah.
So start, do the retreat, think about it, do all the things.
Well, so my mom's a yoga teacher, and so I was thinking bringing her in, and then I was like, well, getting girls together and having a girls weekend. So doing that, and then if we wanted to do emotions with Sabrina, or building self-care with Maggie, bringing all those people in, do you then pay them, or how does that work?
So that's up to you. A lot of people bring in co-coaches, for just as an example. I am happy to go into someone else's group for free because it exposes me. So you don't have to pay people to come in. You can ask them, and most people are more than happy to come in because it broadens their network. It broadens their experience, and they get to share the social proof of it. So you don't have to pay them. Sabrina did a whole course and she brought in experts and she didn't pay them.
I've been in two, and I went into Sabrina's, and she didn't pay me. She didn't offer. I didn't ask, nothing. She just asked me. We're friends, but she asked me to come in, and then Ashton has a monthly group that she does, and she pays her people to come in. She it's a set fee that she gives them, $75 to come in and speak. And so she asked me and my husband to do it, and offered, said, I pay $75 on this monthly program where you come in and do it. And so I did it for her, and she paid. I would have done it anyway without, just again, like Stephanie said, to build people. And don't be afraid to ask. I will say that too. We just started a podcast, and I was like, no one's going to come to little old me. Well, I heard a doctor on Steph's podcast and fit right into my stuff. And so I messaged her and I was like, will you be on my podcast? And she did. And then I just got done reading a book called Brainwash, which I loved. So I reached out to the author. It's him and his son. They wrote it and co-wrote it. And I messaged both of them on Instagram and was like, I read your book. I love you. This is what I do. Will you be on my podcast? The dad said, awesome, contact my people. And the people said, you're not big enough yet, so no. but his son reached out last night and said, I'm interested in coming onto your podcast. Will you give me some information? So I just am like, keep checking my email, like, yes, hurry. Okay. So, I mean, like, just ask, because the worst that they can do is say no. I've been getting over my fear to do that, like asking big name people, like, whatever.
In my experience, no one really expects to be paid for it's an hour of their time. To them, it's so beneficial. So I you don't even have to say, oh, I'm not paying you.
Yeah, I would just say, if they came back and said I would do it for $100, then you could decide if you want.
The only time for me, so if someone asked me to be a part of their summit or their co-coach, I would do it for free. The only time I personally ask to be paid is if it's an in-person, if I'm in a company teaching social media. Like I've had that happen here. I say, I want to be paid for that. Like they've got funding for that. But in the online space, coaches, like I don't expect a coach to pay me to come in for an hour. I'm more than happy to come in for free. So you don't have to do that at all. Don't even bring it up. Just say, I'd love to come. What I like to say is I would love to have you because blah, 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 why you're amazing. And say, this is obviously going to benefit my clients in this program, but it's also going to benefit you because all these people are now going to be introduced to you, and you can pitch yourself, say your free community, say where to follow you, like make it a really win-win. Like it's a win for you and it's a win for them. And that should feel really good.
Okay.
Cool.
I think with that like is coming up is like, what if no one ends up signing up, but then I had all of like these arrangements for people?
Well, then you cancel it. You cancel them. Then you just say, we're not doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But don't have the fear of no one signing up.
Yeah.
Or you could run it and bundle it and sell it
Record
later
it.
or something like that, or record it, or like that kind of stuff as well, and do some things that way. And then you could have this bundle that you sell for.
You guys, don't even make it a possibility that no one is going to come. I say this from the bottom of my heart, and I know you might look at me and think, well, Steph, people are always in your things. I tell, like, the first time I had my CC summit, I was like in tears for a month every single night, basically thinking, what am I doing? No one is going to come. Like, and I'm getting like chills down my body saying this right now because the fear is there. But I was like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this. People are going to come. People are going to buy tickets. People are going to sign up. Like, I get it. I totally get it. But like, we've got to share what we are meant to share. We've got to do it. And if people don't sign up the first time, learn from it, learn how to sell it better the second time. Like, don't let it be a possibility that no one's going to sign up. Don't think like that. Think as if there's 100 people already signed up. If there were 100 people already signed up for your offer, how would you keep talking about it? You would be like, there's 100 people signed up. Like, oh my God. Like, you would be like this. It's not like, oh, I shouldn't talk about it. No one signed up. Like, well, like, it's the same thing as like, if you got a stadium of people ready for you, like, how would you talk about that? You would talk about it like so confidently, so excited, like it's the best thing in the world, because it is. Mm-hmm. That's what you've got to do. That's what I do.
I just wrote that down.
Right? Like, Beyonce is not worried if people are going to buy tickets or not. She's just like, well, people are going to be there, so I'm going to put it together. Beyonce is not worried.
Yeah.
So think like you're Beyonce and you're putting on a show and the stadium's going to be full. So put that program together, rehearse that thing, because people are going to be there.
Mm-hmm. A phrase I came up with a few weeks ago, although it was a completely different topic, was I was obsessing over things that really have no impact on my life or that my mind was creating. I thought to myself, people like Beyonce and Gaga and Queen Elizabeth and all these people these women who just leave themselves no matter effing what. I thought to myself, queens do not obsess. So that's been something I remind myself. So, which I've been doing a lot of the last 2 weeks, but I'm back. Queens do not obsess.
We don't let little things get to us when we've got a big mission.
Right.
Our mission is bigger than the one program, the one thing. It's bigger than the problem we're creating in our mind.
Right.
Our mission is so much bigger than, if we're going to let one thing ruin our day, our week, then like we've got to reevaluate it, right? There's been so many times that I could have let something crush me and be like, I'm not doing this anymore. Not doing it anymore. But it's like, no, I'm too far in it now. I'm in it. I'm not going anywhere else.
And we would have hunted you down.
Pardon?
And we would have hunted you down and said, what the hell, Steph? Where are you?
You know what?
Really would have.
This is confidential since we decided. I was literally thought to myself in January of this year, I'm gonna quit it. I'm gonna quit. I can't do it. I swear to God. I was in my car. I swear to God. I was in my car outside of the gym crying my eyes out on a conversation to Melanie. Melanie had to call me. I'm like, I'm gonna quit. And that's when we had the conversation about the mountain.
What sparked that? Like, what was your like camel or straw that broke the camel's back? That like, why?
To have the thought to quit?
Yeah, like what was the
because I'm not good enough. I'm not growing fast enough.
What happened? Was there something that happened like to make you in that moment at the parking lot? I'm just curious. Like
what popped you?
It was a buildup of just not feeling like I'm growing fast enough. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yes.
yes.
I know. I'm not like, why I have all these things. Why is no one buying from me?
Oh my God, Steph.
I'm a human. I'm a human.
Oh my God, we love you so much.
Pardon? I just want to be real. Because I want to be real with people, because my fear is that people start this and think it's a walk in the park and think once you reach a certain level of success, it's easy and you have no doubt. I'm like, well, people ask me, why do you have a mentor? You make enough money. I'm like, because I have mental breakdowns.
Right.
Not because of any amount of money or success or whatever. Like, my fear is that people come in and think it's easy, and it's not.
No, the reality check is great. I mean, I know this is not easy, which is part of the reason why I think I've hesitated so many times, thinking that I would not be able to emotionally handle it. But I know all of this journey, I mean, really, if you think of the big picture of the world and all the women, our ability to function in this world comes from the ability to hold the space for ourselves to get stronger. And that's what impacts our children, our students, our families, everybody. And whether you're selling the fitness or coaching or legal advice or just legal processes, it's all the same. No matter how small, whether we're offering a $100 program or we're offering $100,000 for a year of private coaching, we're all doing the same shit. It's all the same. It's just bigger. And then, but you have to create that leadership and that capacity to hold that space for yourself and for other people to go up. And then you're probably hitting a spot, Steph, where you're like, oh my God, can I even go up that next notch? Can I take that next step up the mountain that never fucking ends, the mountain that just keeps going, but you keep going. Sorry, I cuss sometimes, guys. I'm just speaking freely right now.
So I'm literally at that point right now. There's a point that I'm at right now that I'm like, holy F-U-C-K. And it's not like, can I keep going? It's like, how the hell did this happen?
Right.
Like we're close to $100,000 a month.
You exploded. There was like no adjustment time for you.
No, but the thing is though, that I never stop doing the work here. That's the work that I do is here. Not how do I sell better? How do I do this better? It's this work, the support. So when I doubt myself, when I have whatever, I am supported so I get out of the funk and keep moving and keep leading myself. That's the work.
So How do you handle that? Is that through meditation? Is that through Melanie? Is that through, like, I've heard of David Nagel as another mindset coach?
So it's with Melanie privately, and because I signed for a year, I'm in the Hypermind, so it's her very high level mastermind, which is a group of about, there's 17. It's a lot of energy in there, women who kind of understand it, but I value the private coaching more than the mastermind, but it's more so like, this is the thought that I'm having. Can you please explain it to me back so I realize this thought is insane? So I basically, like, and I'm being human and telling you guys this, like, I had a funk and I said, I don't think I'm growing fast enough. And Melanie was like, you made over $85,000 to $90,000 in 3 weeks. Most people don't make that in a year. And I was like, I'm an asshole for saying that. I'm an asshole to think, but this is what happens in the online space is people are like, I do this and I do this and I do this. And then you get in your head of like, I'm not good enough. But so
you are so loved. You are so loved and you are so wonderful.
Thank you. And I'm not asking for that, but
I know, I'm just telling you anyway.
But the thing is though, like, I have zero team member. I have no, like, I do it all myself. I don't pay anyone to help me except for a few outsourcing things. But there are people who, so this is where I get in my head with like comparison, is like, there are people who have team members and they're paying all these employees and then they're saying they make all this money, but like they're paying a huge team. And like, I'm not saying that that's devalued, but we have to remember everyone's business looks so different, right? So like some people are actually like, and I've talked about this before, like we're really quote unquote good with our money. Like we save. I don't have a lot of business expenses. So we take a lot in and then we save and invest. But some other people's business models, they have more overhead. So they're spending for a team, they're spending for all these things, and that's totally fine. But I just like to be really clear of like, my business expenses are my mentor. And then I have a video editor who does some repurposing, which is like $600 a month. So I just want to show people it can be really simple. You can make a lot of money and it be super simple and not have a lot of overhead in your business, if you choose. But if you want to have expenses, then that's totally fine too. There's no right or wrong way. You want to have team members. If you want to have all the things, you can. It's just what you want.
Right. And something to remember, Steph, is growth is, although your growth over the last 2 or 3 years has been this amazing, but our lives are never completely linear in a straight line. So your perception of like, yeah, it absolutely, and sometimes it's backwards and does this weird little lip thing and goes up. Your heart and your mission is it's so deep and intense. And when people are deep and intense, there's always this fear of doubt of, is it enough? Because you care so damn much.
Yeah.
You care so much. And you just are going to have those moments. I mean, I know I'm not Melanie, but I mean, that's just like, I'm sure she has them too. And she has to go to her mentor.
Yeah.
Like, how am I going to beat this? What now?
Yep.
And I guess that's when we go back to the original of, it's that one person.
Yep.
Which one person am I going to reach today?
Yep.
And the rest of it it's a blossom. It's a tree that's growing, you know?
And I look at my journey, I don't know if people relate, but how I look at it is like, my business is an extension of me and who I am today. And in a year from now, I have no idea what it's going to look like. And for some people that's terrifying. And for some people that's really exciting. And I've learned to look at that in a really exciting way, because I'm just like, in a year, I don't know what's it going to be like when I have kids. I don't know maybe I don't want to work at all if I have kids, like, and that's great. And then I don't have to, like, but I think I want people to realize, like, focus on what it feels like now, do what feels really good now, and allow it to change. You're allowed to change and evolve. I think a lot of people think it needs to be like this, it needs to stay like this. Like, you're an entrepreneur for a reason. You're creative, you're innovative, you're all these different things. So let it change and evolve and just let it be whatever you want it to be. I know a lot of people look at me and think, oh my God, you go, go, go. But like, that's where I am now. I say in a year from now, I might not want to do it this way, and that's fine. So, but let your way be the perfect way. Your way of doing it is fine. Every way can be successful.
I have a question. So
Yeah.
it feels like all of us here are talking about businesses, including yourself, that all rely upon us to show up. And life happens. People get sick, people need surgeries, whatever. Like, what's the backup plan? You know, if you're not able or I'm not able to deliver, like, to me as an attorney, like, it seems a little bit easy. Like, that would be great for me to have a team, to have an assistant, to have another associate, you know, working under me that knows how to do a lot of the work that I do. My concern, and I've discussed this with my other, you know, legal business coach, you know, I'm always worried, like, are those associates going to steal my clients and like go set up their own firm, you know, using my clients, and how do I protect that? And there's certain things I can do as I get bigger and bigger. I just haven't yet taken that leap. And so because of that, I'm limited on, like, my income has grown over the years, yes, because I have taken other chances and bigger chances and doing stuff now that I never imagined I would do, that type of work. But my question to you, and I don't know if you have any answers, how can I duplicate myself? Like, you know, kind of like the movie Multiplicity from years ago. I don't know if you remember it, but, you know, like, how do I find other people who are good or better than myself in terms of either it's deliverables or following up with the clients, or letting them do the sales calls, you know, because those take time. I love doing the sales calls. It gives a chance for people to get to know me and for me to get to know them, and then decide if I want them as a client or not. But it also takes up my time, and it takes it away from.
You train them. You train them to do it to do it to your standard or better. Mm-hmm. So I would train people how you want it done, the things done. You train people. And that, so a huge part of why, so for me personally, like, I'm like sacral, hell yes, hell no. So right now, like, assistant is no, but tomorrow that could be like a yes. But if I bring on someone, the person needs to be the perfect person, but then I need to show them how I want it all done, and what needs to be done. So I know that doesn't really answer like a backup plan, but that answers kind of like how to bring someone on and show them, like, this is how we do it, and this is what you can cover.
Sure. And I've been documenting, like, some of the work, like opening up a client file and, like, you know, the intake forms and the retainer agreement, like, all that stuff is systematized already, and I have like I have it mapped out, like, what the procedure is. But I don't know, like, right now we're in a weird time. There's a lot of talk about training people virtually, but I've had people working with me, but they literally work next to me. Like, I have an office space where my desk is here and their desk is like, you know, 6 feet, 7 feet away. So we're in the same office space. And they're doing their thing and I'm doing mine, but they can check in on me with like whatever their questions are throughout the day.
So in the online world, like, think of like people who do have VAs who are in another country. They just have their own system of checking in, whether it's like weekly Zoom meetings and this is what you got to do. They have, whether you use different communication systems like Slack or Messenger, like the tasks of things to do. So I would look at ways to keep it super clear communication, super clear, concise communication and training through the online space. Okay. And again, it is harder, like, to meet someone online and trust them to bring them into your business, your stuff, right? So usually, like, it's nice to find people through referrals or someone you know or someone you meet, like, in here, or, you know what I mean? Like, you get to know them, because again, it's online, it's a disconnect, right? And you want to really trust and know someone when you're bringing them in your world.
Absolutely.
And I think also, especially because it's the online community, well, I think this apply in real life as well. Of course it does. From the non-technical aspect of it, as you, I'm sure you have, as you said, have already listed out, these are the things they'd have to do, the requirements and so on. But there's also the aspect of the actual chemistry with you and that person. How do you want it to feel? How, when you speak with this person, you get back from them all the work they've done for you and how you communicate with them, how do you want it to feel? What would make you feel safe and secure and supported? And literally journal on this, free write, like pictures, smells, scents, their voice, their personality, just start throwing that out there on paper. And I have found that to be an extremely powerful method for bringing into clarity what it is that you want. And the clearer we are, the clearer the result will be. Because if we leave it to chance, that's what we get, chance.
You can do this with clients. How do you want your clients, how do you want your client relationship to feel when you're calling in clients? Like, who do I want to work with? Right? It's the same thing with team members. Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, ladies. Well, 3.5 hours?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what we did. This is good. Do you guys feel good?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope you're not too like buzzed, but I think this is a good time frame. And then we have space and then meet again tomorrow. Yeah. And then tomorrow we'll dive into launching, selling, marketing, branding, that kind of vibe. And again, like this is very open-ended. So as things come up, and I'm happy to just deliver whatever you guys need.
Thank you.
Yay. Okay. So go enjoy your Saturday. Stop doing work, go do something fun, go outside, and I will see you guys same time tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Bye. This is the best group to do this with, honest to God. I feel so lucky. So, okay. Bye, ladies.
Bye. Thank you.
You're welcome.